Welcome, friends. Jay here, and I will be hosting episode 5 of the Extra Player podcast. I am joined by Matt Ghosty. How's it going, bro?
What's up, everybody? Excited to talk about all the showcases today. We have like an infinite number of games to talk about, it seems like.
So much. And of course, Fume Gaming. What's good, bro?
What's going on, guys? I got my memorabilia for the two games that I was most hyped about. I got Cloud right here, this Buster Sword, and then I got my
Nice.
Raccoon City Police Department to celebrate Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Awesome. I
So
want
very
both.
excited. Yes, yes, very
Oh,
good games.
man, I don't even know where to begin, so I think I'm just going to start off with one of the hottest topics, state of play. Wolverine. What are we thinking of Wolverine? Because I know we touched on discussing it in the spaces the other day, but we said we'd save our impressions for now. So, Matt, I'm interested to see what you have to say first.
I think it looks good. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited that they're going the character action route. I was a little bit worried that they were going to go the more Arkham style Spider-Man route, where it's a much simpler combat system that you can make look cool. But from my gathering, the amount of combos and moves that they were pulling off in the game really screamed character action to me, which I'm super excited about because I think it just fits that character a lot better. Um, the other thing is it's linear, which I know a lot of people have been talking about because we weren't sure if it was going to be open world like Spider-Man or if it was going to be a more linear action game. I'm excited about it. I know a lot of people expressed discontent with Spider-Man 2 being as short as it was, and that's kind of my only concern, as on that front. Like, I just wanna know, are we getting ourselves into, like, a 10-hour game, that we're buying for $70, or is it something that they're just gonna be adding more to? Because I think the potential is there. It just I want them to fully realize that vision and have people satisfied leaving the game, especially after Spider-Man 2. My one criticism is I did expect it to look visually much more impressive. I'm sure we'll get into Faye um, at the end of the show, but seeing how Sony Santa Monica has really leveled up their engine and their visuals from even Ragnarok, which is a super impressive looking game, to Faye, and then seeing like going back and looking at Wolverine in the beginning, it just looked a little flat. Like it still looks good, like Spider-Man 2, but I just expected more, I guess. Um, but it is, stylized graphics and all that sort of thing. But that was probably my one letdown in that showcase, is I was just expecting it to look visually much more impressive, especially because we've gotten a lot of gory games recently that do look really impressive. Wolverine didn't like blow me away, but I am really excited about the character action elements and being able to see how this more grittier, um, M-rated version of Insomniac is able to put together a title.
Nice. What about you, Fume? What are your thoughts on Wolverine so far?
I think it looks fantastic. It looks very violent, very brutal, and it looks very fast paced. The stealth in it, I don't think that's really a route I'm going to be taking playing as Wolverine unless, it really benefits from a gameplay standpoint. I just want to get in there with my claws and stab a bunch of motherfuckers and beat a bunch of guys up. And just, I think it's going to be a great story too, because they got Sabretooth. Who was it? They got Jean Grey. It looks great.
Mystique.
Yeah, Mystique. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to play it for a little bit because I'm going to wait for my PlayStation 6 because I don't have PlayStation 5, but that's going to be one of
Mm.
the first games I play.
Nice.
I was reading somewhere that it's like not a big X-Men team, and there's not going to be too many. Yeah, not too many cameos. It's just mostly Wolverine and a couple of others, but it just looks violent. It looks good, and I really like their portrayal of Wolverine more closer to like the comics. He's shorter. He's not like Hugh Jackman in the movies, 6'5" and just a big. He's still a brute, but he's more of just like a little boxer brawler kind of guy now, and that's how he is. That's how he's supposed to be. So it looks really good. It looks really violent. With what Matt said about it kind of looking generic, I mean, it kind of does, but it's just like it's just set in the real world anyways, so it's not really going to have too much stylized art, I guess you could say. I don't think Spider-Man really did either. It was just New York.
Yeah.
So
I just meant more like I expected it to like I didn't expect the how do I put this? I'm
Like a
definitely
different aesthetic, more closer to like X-Men-y, or like
maybe
it's just
it's like
own kind of unique art in enemies and stuff. It just kind of seems like it's
it very
generic in a
much.
way.
Yeah, like, I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, I've seen that in Spider-Man before." Like,
Yeah,
those
I can
enemies
understand
look
that.
like the same grunts in Spider-Man. Again, not necessarily a huge problem because 'cause they're in the same
Yep.
universe, but I did expect, like a level up. Like the same way when we went from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 2, the amount of detail in the enemies and the variety and all that kind of stuff. Um, and like the fidelity on all of them and that kind of thing. Those are the upgrades that I thought we would see. And especially when you compare that against Faye, like you can really see they put in a lot of work to make the game look like they spent a lot of time on it. I know
The
Insomniac's
cube.
had a lot, yeah, I know Insomniac has had a lot of stuff behind the scenes
Mm.
since then. But that was my only like red flag. Like, oh, that man, I wish that would have looked a little better if I was looking at it. But the blood looks. I know some people have like criticized it, whatever, but I actually really like that it's physics based. Like, if you watch it when it hits
Mhm.
the water, it'll like puddle out and like diffuse and stuff like that. It does a really good job of like making it feel heavier, which is really cool.
Yeah,
God.
I think with when it comes to like series and stuff that I like, sometimes my bias will cloud my judgment because it's just like I love Wolverine. I'm just like, dude, fucking Wolverine. There's nothing wrong with this. He looks so cool. And that's how I was about Spider-Man 2. When people talk about Spider-Man 2, I'm all just like, nah, you're wrong. Game was sick. More intimate story about Harry and Peter. And everyone's just like, no, 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 no. And they point out a bunch of logical things why the game was not as good as the last one. I'm just like, nah, fuck you. That's not true. Just because I love Spider-Man so much. I get clouded by my bias sometimes, and I can admit to that. But I just think it looks so cool. What do you think, Jay? You Wolverine day one?
You guys should know by now. I'm Wolverine day one. I'm gonna be play. I'll probably platinum that before I pick up anything else. I'm super excited. And much like you, Fume, I feel like I am the same in the way that once I've decided I like something, it's going to be difficult for me to critique it realistically. So
Mm.
even the things that Matt is saying, my brain is like going blank because I'm thinking I didn't even think about any of that. I don't know.
Me
I
too.
just saw Wolverine stabbing people. I said, yeah, I was there in the state of play, like, yeah, get my claws out, man. But now I'm gonna have to rewatch it and be like, there might be a point to that. To be fair, I never understood any of the criticisms of Spider-Man 2. I know that was quite divisive. But again, that's because I've been a Spider-Man fan since I was like little. Same with Wolverine. I grew up watching the old X-Men cartoons and obviously all the old Spider-Man stuff. Played a lot of the games as a kid. So this, for me, all I wanted was for it to be like a better version of the X-Men Origins Wolverine game that we got way back when. And that is what it looks like to me. It looks like they've taken that kind of blueprint for a grittier, realistic portrayal, even though obviously it was based off of a movie that wasn't that good. But what they did with that, they made arguably one of the best Wolverine games to date, aside from this one that's coming. So when I've now seen that they've realized that kind of vision and given it that hack and slash character action over the more like what is it, generic superhero fighting
Yeah.
from like Batman, Arkham, and Spider-Man. That's what we want for Wolverine. We don't want Wolverine doing like the little press X and circle combo to throw this guy over here like as if he's Batman or Spider-Man. We want to slash, stab, and even the climbing up the wall with the things. All of these things are just like tickling my brain, man. I'm so hyped for that game. I can't wait. Day one, definitely.
You know what I thought would have been cool if they did it, and it kind of looks like it. They almost made it more like a Devil May Cry, all about the cool combos and like air juggling. Because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine does shit like that. You know, he's
Yeah.
always
Mm-hmm.
all over the place, going
Mm-hmm.
around throwing motherfuckers. So I feel like that would
Mm-hmm.
have been cool. And that's honestly kind of what it is, but more of just like an extension of how they did it with Spider-Man, but just faster paced and
Well,
more
and
actiony.
they alluded
Definitely.
to that because they said that there's going to be score targets and
Okay.
like things for you to go back and replay that very much it's like this is a character action game. They're saying it
Mhm.
without saying it, um, which I think is really smart because I think a lot of people were afraid this was going to be uh, Wolverine or Spider-Man in a Wolverine skin, and
Mm.
it very much seems like its own thing, which I think is awesome, and I think probably will assuage a lot of fans who are worried about Insomniac kinda turning into like a Marvel factory where it's just like the same game, but with a different Marvel character. But if they can show that Wolverine is a different game than Spider-Man while still being in the same universe, I think people will be much more receptive to something like that. Because maybe then they give us a Hulk that's like
That would be cool.
like a Dynasty Warriors type of thing, right? Where there's just tons and tons of enemies and destruction everywhere, and you're like indestructible. Like things like that, right? They could implement all these different types of gameplay via different characters, so you're not like just playing the same game but with a different character. I think that was definitely very nice to see.
Totally agree. What was it? I was gonna say something. I also feel what you said about it not being like a reskin of Spider-Man, because that did worry me at the announcement that it would just be another more kind of generic open world set in whatever kind of place. And I thought Wolverine, when people were talking about, oh, is it going to be open world? I didn't think a Wolverine game really suited an open world like in one place. I like that it's more linear, so you'll be seeing different areas, and obviously there's going to be these big set pieces in between, and you can kind of see where it's going. I feel like that suits how I've not read many, but the Wolverine comics I have read and the Wolverine shows, he normally does a lot of globe trotting. Like he's not known for one place. Like Spider-Man being set in an open world New York makes sense because Spider-Man is New York superhero. That's always been his thing. But Wolverine always seemed to be quite transient. He moves, he gets around, he'll be in this facility, he's fucking shit up, he's fighting in wars and stuff. I like that they've kind of brought that, and yeah, like you said, Matt, they've made his identity distinct in how they've built the game. That is really important, and it does make me more confident for whatever their next project could be. Even though it's looking like it will be X-Men next, I'd love a new Hulk game at this point, man. But I guess that'll be a talk for future if that ever comes to be a thing. A nice segue from Wolverine is to talk about Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Are either of you guys interested in that? Fume, I'll let you take off with this one.
So I already have it pre-ordered because Arxis, the developers of this game, also were the developers of Dragon Ball Fighters, and that is my favorite, and Guilty Gear Strive, two of my favorite fighting games of all time. And they just know how to do it, and especially like if you think about how Marvel Tokon is doing the tagging, they did that so well in Dragon Ball Fighters that I just think they're going to be able to bring it over here and do it so well too. And one thing I was reading is you can honestly just choose your main character because it's one life bar for all four characters. So you can just choose the main character you want to play as and then just have 3 assists essentially. If you don't want to learn, because not a lot of people have time to learn 4 really in-depth fighting game characters, let alone one. So you could just choose one and then have 3 really good assists. The trailer that we got showing the new team of Doctor Doom, Carnage. Oh my God. I'm so happy they chose Carnage over Venom. I love Venom. He's awesome. But I feel like we got to give Carnage some more love, baby, because he is just a fucking psycho. Serial killer turned into a freaking symbiote. Woo! And then we got Green Goblin, which they had an awesome design, more reminiscent of the cartoons rather than like the movies. I really did like the first Spider-Man movie. I forget his name, Norman Osborn. Who was his actor? He's been in so much stuff. So much stuff.
Again?
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
yes.
That's it.
He was an amazing. He was an amazing Green Goblin too. I loved the rendition of him.
He did it so good.
Yeah, and that's why I love Green Goblin so much because of Willem Dafoe's rendition of him. So I'm excited. I think my team is going to be Wolverine, Spider-Man, and then it's either going to be Green Goblin and Carnage or it's going to be Storm and Carnage. But I don't know the last team yet because if Blade is on it, because it's the Midnight Suns and Blade's there, then I think I might have to bring him in. But it's going to be a good fighting game from Arxis. So you already know it's just going to be probably the top event at Evo and things like that because
I agree.
Sonic Fox, Geo1, the big names are just going to be really on that. So it looks great. It's really excited. Are you guys going to get this game?
I will, definitely. I don't know if it's a day one, but I love fighting games, so I'll definitely pick it up at some point. It's just there's so much coming. I don't think it will be a day one, if I'm being honest. There's just too much going on, but definitely at some point. What about you, Matt? Are you going to pick up Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls?
I'll pass. I'm just not a fighting game fan. The art is awesome.
Definitely.
I do hope that like we get maybe like a story mode or something that would maybe convince.
There is one. They said there's a story mode. Yeah. So what happened originally at first is someone came out and said the wrong thing. So in Guilty Gear Strive, the story mode, which is one big movie, and so someone came out like after a showcase recently and was just like, yeah, there's no story mode, just a big movie. But then the director, someone from the team came out and said there is a story mode and there is fighting involved. So there's a story and it's interacting. And so if you don't want to do the online fighting, you can just pick it up to just have fun and play story mode, play like
Nice.
survival mode and their whatever side modes they're gonna have.
Arcade mode surely will
Yeah.
be a thing. Yeah,
Exactly, and
nice.
that's where I felt Invincible Versus was lacking because I only had the arcade ladder and the story mode, and
Yeah.
I just don't have the time to get good at online and fighting games anymore. It's just something that happens when you get older,
Yeah.
and I was just getting my ass kicked on.
It's so hard, man.
It is.
The people that go online already have so much experience, it feels like. It's so difficult.
And the issue with games like tag fighters is there's a heavy reliance on using the assists to extend the combo. So if you
Yeah,
don't want to learn which assists go well with the characters
you
you
can't
have,
do it.
yeah, you're just gonna be
Yeah.
left in the dust.
You
getting your
get
ass
beaten
kicked.
up. It's also you have to use the assist to get out of combos as well, which
Yes.
is just as bloody. Yeah, that game is brutal. If you don't know how
It
to
is.
play it, people will just lock you into an endless chain of fuckery. It happened to me. I know. I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah, the last fighting game I got into was Guilty Gear Strive, and I was pretty good. But eventually
Nice.
I just hit my skill cap, and I was just like, I had to step back because people are just insane at fighting games, man. People are very good. I'm semi competitive, like casual. You know, I
I'm
like to play.
exactly like you, Fume. I think the only fighting game I ever would have called myself good at, with my chest, is Tekken
Yeah.
7. I still haven't even gotten into Tekken 8, but me and my dad have been playing Tekken since I was little, and that online there, absolute crazy stuff going on, man. People are doing different things, but I could hold my own at one point. Probably not now in Tekken 8. I'd probably get my ass handed to me, but some practice maybe if I find the time.
It's an easy platinum if you just want to play the game. It took
I've
me
got the
about 3
platinum.
Oh, you
Oh
did?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Come
so you
on,
played
man.
Tekken 8 already? You just never
Oh
got
no,
the,
I meant in Tekken 7. Sorry, I didn't get the. No, I haven't played enough Tekken 8 at all. No.
It's like a
Yeah, I need
15-hour
to.
platinum.
I will get it
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
That I'll do that to kind of ease myself into some online probably.
Did you ever play Soul Calibur in games like that? Or were you into Soul Calibur, Soul Edge?
I've played a lot of fighting games. I played some Soul Calibur. I played, you know, the one where it had the 3
I played
different
'em all.
versions depending on which
For
console
the
you
GameCube
played
one,
on.
the
There's
GameCube X Soul
there was
Calibur
one
2,
that you get to be you
Spawn,
get to be Link.
Taichi, and Link.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they had one where you get to be Yoda or Darth Vader, depending on
That
which
was 4.
console.
That was
Oh,
that was that was Soul
okay.
Calibur 4.
Oh, okay. So I played 2 and 4, but I
Both
never
great ones.
owned it. I've just played it at like friends' houses and at this youth club I used to go to where I played loads of games. But yeah. Oh my God, what happened to Matt?
Still
My
here,
bad.
Matt?
I got excited. I raised my eyebrows.
That cracked me up, man.
Matt, are you a big fighting game guy at all? Or is it
No.
just not a genre that you really play up?
I got my shit pushed in as a kid on like
Bad.
arcade games and like bounced me off the genre for life.
That's what happened with me and my older brothers growing up. They used to just beat my fucking ass in fighting
Yeah.
games. And it made me get good because I had
Yes.
to get good.
That was what my dad did to me as a kid.
That was me with like Call of Duty.
Okay.
Since I was an only child, I would go to friends' houses and they would just like push my shit in. And then I was
Yep.
like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm gonna get good at this. And so later on I got better and yeah. But now if I
That's how I was with Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty. I didn't really get into a lot of Call of Duties, but World at War and Modern Warfare 2 were the 2 big ones. And all my friends were just good. So I was like, all right, I got to hunker down. I played so much Team Deathmatch and Search and Destroy. I eventually got decent, but those are hard games to get good in.
It's exactly the same story with me. Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops were my big ones when I was a teenager.
Yep.
Terminal. Me and my friends used to always play Terminal and
That was the
screen
airport,
watch.
right?
We used to screen watch each other. we knew. I probably still know that map like the back of my hand. Where I could look at the screen and be like, "Oh, I'm coming for you."
Dude,
It
the
was so
beginning
much
of
fun.
that game's still so crazy. The story mode for Modern Warfare 2.
What? No Russian.
No, dude, insane. I couldn't believe what I was playing.
Yeah.
I was like
felt
14.
bad, bro.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was there like, really?
the middle of the campaign, is it not?
No, that's right at the beginning, I think.
It felt
If I
early
remember
on
correctly.
to me.
Yeah, it
But
felt
then
like
the
the first
campaigns
mission.
are not that long anyway,
No,
are they?
they're not.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't think it was the very first mission, but I do think it was pretty early on,
Well, because
if I'm
We
not
have the
mistaken.
internet at our power, so let me
You
look it up real quick.
you have 1 or 2 missions with the guy who ends up dying at the end of No Russian.
But mission is no Russian.
Oh, yeah. Because
Yeah.
he was the undercover guy, yeah?
Yep. Yeah.
And then oh my god, that was a mad story actually. Now that you
It's the
think
fourth
about
mission.
it,
You guys are right.
Dang.
the
Yeah,
fourth mission, yeah.
I thought it
I
was
knew
the
it
third.
wasn't. I knew it wasn't straight away because I remember, like Matt said, you play as that guy, and he's like an undercover guy, and he's like infiltrated the Russian terrorists, and then that happens, and then he gets killed at the end, and you're like, what the fuck?
You're playing as a dual protagonist at the time. You're playing as Roach,
Yes.
and you're playing as this guy. And then when he dies, you take over with Roach. And then when he dies, you go to Soap. So like,
Oh, you don't start as Soap. Okay.
No.
I was thinking you played
you
the whole
play
game
as
as
Soap
Soap.
in the original, in Modern Warfare 1 or 4, I
Yes.
guess, or Modern Warfare COD 4. You play as Soap, and then that's the transition into that one. And then Modern Warfare 3, you play as Yuri for the entire game, I think, until the last mission.
Nice.
I never played that one.
Boo.
Okay, so back to State of Play. That was a bit of a
We got
detour into some first-person shooters, Call of Duty talk. What did you guys think of Rayman Legends Retold? Matty, have you got anything to say on this? You a Rayman fan, yes or no?
I've played a little bit of them. It looks good.
Mm.
I think it's always cool when these genres keep going. So good on PlayStation for showing it off at a State of Play.
Mhm.
And good on, this is a Ubisoft game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good on Ubisoft for keeping it going. I think these games are important for especially younger kids and families and stuff who want to get into gaming. So keep it around. I think it's awesome.
Nice.
I
How about
share
you,
the
Fume?
Same as Matt. I'm not a big Rayman guy. I've actually probably never even beaten a Rayman game. I probably played less than
Crazy.
a total of 5 hours in total
Damn.
combined Rayman. Yeah, just not. I just didn't grow up with it, and I feel like it's one of those series that's been around for so long. If you grew up with it, you're gonna like it a lot.
That's me. I grew up with Rayman. I've been playing Rayman since the first one on PS1, and then obviously the second one I played that on DS, and then I got the third one HD years later. I love Rayman so much.
So you're getting this.
I'm getting this 100%. The only thing that I thought was really interesting, obviously, I'm not sure if you guys knew, but there have been rumors about a Rayman remake for like a couple years now. People have been kind of saying that it was in development, and everyone was saying it was going to be a remake of Rayman 1, which made the most sense. It's the first and oldest game. It's really interesting to me that they've remade the most recent game to release in the Rayman franchise. Like that Rayman Legends, I'm pretty sure was the last Rayman game to come out, but they remade that one. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Not even Origins, because they had Origins first that kind of changed it up in the modern era of Rayman with the new kind of art style and the more focused 2D stuff that took it back to its roots. But it's just strange to remake Legends when
did that one come out? Like, is it a decade
I
ago?
think about, but maybe it's been a while. It's been a while since we got a new Rayman game, so I'm happy it's happening. It's just really interesting to me that they decide to remake like the newest entry in the series for years. It's really strange to me.
Detour again. How long do you guys think a game needs to be out for before it gets remade?
That's a good question.
I remember when The Last of Us Part 1 was coming out, and they're like, it's only a 9-year game. Why the fuck are they remaking that? So it's, and I feel like, was that, like, as someone who's played the original Last of Us and the remake, was that a warranted remake? Like, do you think?
Yes and no. Like, it is very nice to have it up to the visual and gameplay standards of The Last of Us Part 2. But I think games that are getting remade, if I really had to pick, like, it doesn't bother me, to be clear. But I think if I had to pick, I'd want games like Resident Evil 2, where they like legit change the game. Like the remake is fundamentally different from the original game.
Yes. Yes.
Like I would rather dev time go to something like that where you're really modernizing the game, not just like visually. And like I understand mechanically The Last of Us has changed in the remake, like with its gunplay and things like that. But yeah, that's what I would prefer. Like, for instance, I know this is probably gonna be a hot take, but like Metal Gear Solid is an example of like a game that if it got remade, I would understand because like you can still go back and play the isometric original. But if they were gonna remake it, like that would make sense, right? Because you're really changing the game in a fundamental way to where it's being like remade, not just changed and altered in a way that makes it more modernly sensible.
I agree with you 100%. That's how I feel too.
I agree. To answer your question, my opinion, on remakes. It's a tricky one because it's really quite a case sensitive kind of thing for me. It depends on the game. Using The Last of Us as an example, again, just like Matt said, I'm happy that we got it to an extent. Like, it looks good, it plays well, looks better, and plays better than the original. But it felt like the remaster was already good enough, and then like bringing it up to standard with this part 2, you could tell they were really just capitalizing on the series success. It wasn't like a passion project really from Naughty Dog. It was like a, let's do this, let's just upgrade it. I always look at that and think, why didn't Rockstar do that with the first Red Dead? Because when I played Red Dead 2, that's all I wanted, was for them to put Red Dead's story into that engine and let us replay that, just like what they did with The Last of Us. And I was gutted that that never happened, because there was rumors about that, and we got the remaster, which was really late as well. But yeah, so for me, it's more like a case sensitive thing. But I would say nowadays, I'd prefer, if we're going to do remakes, that they're at least 2 console generations behind. I don't see the point of remaking a PS4 game on the PS5. And I didn't really see the point of remaking a PS3 game on the PS4 when there are, or 5, when there are so many like PS2 games that you could go back and remake. Like Infamous, that game at least needs a remaster. It actually looks quite rubbish now if you ever tried to like stream it.
That's a PS3 game then.
Pardon?
Infamous is a PS3 game.
How do you mean?
Infamous PS3.
Oh yeah, no, I know, yeah, but it's so old. It doesn't. It looks more like PS2, right?
Some games
It's
in that
like
generation don't
Resistance,
play
Fall
that
of
well.
Man. But that's what I mean. Like, obviously, I've kind of ruined my own point there. But it's case sensitive. It's like, how good does the game look and play now? That, like, The Last of Us 1, still, even the remaster, or even if you were to go back on PS3 and play it, it still looks and holds up quite well compared to something like, again, Infamous or Resistance, Fall of Man. So it's a shame when they kind of overlook games that you look at and think that needs a remake, because it's actually kind of painful to try and replay them or introduce them to a new audience, whereas The Last of Us would still hold its own. So that's my kind of thing. I think like 2 console generations behind, or a game that really looks like it needs it. But obviously they're always only going to do what kind of lines their pockets, so I kind of made my peace with it.
It's safe, especially if it's just like an already successful game. Everyone who already bought the original is probably going to buy it. I think in a case like I like what Oblivion Remaster did. There wasn't really too much that they needed to change, so they upgraded like the leveling up system, and then they made it look like a completely new game by overhauling the graphics. That's what I think is good for games where the gameplay still holds up. But if they want to completely change the gameplay, like something like Final Fantasy to Final Fantasy VII Remake, like that's a completely different combat system. I feel like that is worth and warrants a remake, because it's like a reimagining almost. I think when you're reimagining a game in a way, I think that's good.
It adds value, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Especially to long-term fans. Speaking of Oblivion, before we just go off too much on the tangent, but Oblivion, I feel like as good of a remake as it is, and I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed what I played of it. I really didn't like that it still felt like an old game.
Yeah.
Like the loading screens between every area that you entered, that just took me way back to PS3. And I was thinking, if anything, I'd have taken a visual downgrade and made that not happen. Just let it feel like the open world is supposed to be, not this sort of. It felt like a linear game that was like pretending to be an open world.
That's a tough one, because that's just a consequence of the creation engine. Like, because you can interact with like 99% of objects in the environment, you can't, at least right now, they haven't figured out a way to make the creation engine like truly be an open world game. Like Crimson Desert is a good example of like how engines have modernized, but the creation engine, because every object in the world is physics based, they have to have these loading things to like load in the load states of these different items. So that's how they can get like the 1,000 burgers on the spaceship in Starfield, for example. So like if they would have entirely switched to Unreal Engine 5, they might have been able to figure out a way to do it, but because it's overlaid on top of the creation engine, it's just like you said, it's just a consequence of older game design, and they haven't figured out a way to fix it.
Yeah,
I totally appreciate that, but that was one of the things that why I never played much more of it, because it took the kind of whimsy out of it for me. It originally felt like I was playing a new version of an older game, and then it just felt like a reskinned version of the same old game, and that's what kind of then threw me off.
Did you play the original?
No, I never even played the original.
Okay.
I was just playing this one. This was my first experience, and the visuals gave me that feeling of, oh, this is like a brand new like AAA RPG, and I was enjoying it for the first like couple hours. But it was the exiting areas every time for that, and sometimes I'd be like going back because I wanted to explore and go back where I've been before, and it was just like, oh, it's kind of breaking that immersion. And like you mentioned, that kind of immersion you get from something like Crimson Desert, because that is just feels like a huge expansive place with no loading in between, transitions and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting.
Oh yeah.
All right. What else should we move on to? We could talk about some Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. Obviously, we got another kind of trailer for it. I didn't find this kind of showing too exciting, because it was just kind of, we knew it was already coming, and I was a bit disappointed that it's now been delayed until next year, but also relieved because I don't know how I'm going to fit anything more on my plate. But what are you guys thinking of Tomb Raider? You guys excited for that?
I think it missed out on the golden opportunity because originally it was rumored to release in June this year. And like that would have been the perfect time. Like I was saying this a couple days ago to some friends. Like, we literally have nothing new coming out in June. Not that that's a problem, but like I'm surprised no games this year like thought about that, because
Elliot. Adventures of Elliot.
that was really smart by Square, because like there's literally nothing right now between now and Assassin's Creed Resync as far as big releases. There's not a lot, and I'm surprised that games aren't taking advantage of that. I feel like Tomb Raider as a remake would have done really, really well in this like zone. So it's a shame it got delayed, but I will say it looks fantastic. Like I think they did a great job of modernizing the visuals without losing like what made those games so special. And I'm really excited to play it because as I'm sure we'll talk about with 007, we don't get a lot of linear action adventure games anymore. And I really want that genre to flourish, I guess. And I'm hoping that they can do a good job of making those puzzles feel modern and interesting while including a lot of the modern quality of life, movement mechanics, all those sorts of things. Because it is almost like a puzzle platformer in certain sections. So seeing that in a modern day could be really, really cool.
Tomb Raider puzzles always quite fun. Sorry, you go, Fume.
No, you're good. So Tomb Raider is a series that I have been playing since, honestly, the PlayStation 1. My dad had Tomb Raider 1 on the PlayStation 1, and I just remember playing that and hanging out at Laura Croft's house trying to kill the butler, but I don't think you were allowed to kill the butler, so all the bullets went through him and stuff. But I've been playing those series forever, so I know what it is. And knowing what it is, I just don't get, I don't want to say hyped about it. It's just, I know what it is, and I know I'm going to get it. And I know it's action adventure, Laura Croft, you're fighting guys, you're exploring. So I know what it is, so I don't really follow it too much, but when it comes out, I'll get it. It's just one of those series for me where I've been playing it for so long. It's not really, super top of my list, but I love the games. But it's just a game I'm going to buy, and I know what it is. So it's nothing I really have too much to say about, other than it's going to be a good action adventure game. It's just going to be like Uncharted, but it's obviously Tomb Raider.
It's funny that Tomb Raider now gets compared to the game it literally inspired.
Literally.
Like, people be like, oh, literally. Tomb Raider is so much like Uncharted. It's like,
it's just like Uncharted. It's just like Tomb Raider. You mean?
Tomb Raider was there first, man. It was Tomb Raider always. But I'm exactly like you, Fume. This is a day one buy for me. But again, I kind of felt exactly what you described watching the new trailer. I was like, I can't get any more excited for this now.
You know what it is.
If anything, I just need to play it. It's definitely a day one, but I can't really rant and rave anymore about it. Like, Tomb Raider has been a big part of my life. Just like your dad. My dad had those games. Those some of the first games I ever played when I was a kid. My dad used to tell me stories about me like pretending to be Tomb Raider and going pew pew around the house and all this kind of stuff. So I grew up with Aunt Lara. So I'm ready for that. Oh, speak of,
is that your dad right there?
That was it. Yeah, it's like he heard. But yeah, so Tomb Raider, definitely exciting, but not much more to be said about it, to be honest. One off the kind of cuff game that I wanted to just ask you guys about, just because I thought it looks really interesting. Do you guys remember that Kemuri? Kemuri, I think it's pronounced. It was
I
like
do,
a
that new IP from what's her
yeah,
face?
the like
Yes.
yokai hunting game. I just thought it looked really interesting, and I haven't really seen much more on it since that showing. But yeah, Fume, what did you think of that trailer for that?
Ah, you know, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of seemed, I don't want to say it was generic, but it kind of just blended in with just kind of the other games for me. I didn't really notice too much of it. It just didn't stick out to me personally. So
Uh,
I honestly don't have much to say about it. I don't
fair,
remember it other than one
fair
particular
enough.
screenshot. So yeah, I'll
That's
keep an
fair
eye on
enough.
it. If it gets good reviews when it comes out, I'll look into it. But it's probably not a game I'm really gonna.
Fair play.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
worried when I was looking at it. I was like, this is going to be so easy to just get buried. But
Mhm.
the art style did stand out to me, and the premise of hunting these like giant things through this kind of open city just looked
Mhm.
really interesting. The way they were running up the walls, it really stood out to me. But I did also watch it thinking a lot of people are going to overlook this, and it's a
Yeah.
real shame because they probably paid a lot to get it at State
Yeah.
of Play. What about you, Matt? Do you even remember it?
No, I do. It did
Oh,
look
nice.
interesting.
Mm,
I think we're probably going to see a proliferation of these Night Rain style games.
mm,
I don't think it's exactly like Night Rain, to be clear, but
mm,
these
mm.
like 3-player co-op, um, kind of fast-paced action adventure games, something like that. I think we're just going to see a lot of them. We've already started to see in a lot of games when they're co-op now launch with 3-player modes instead of 2 or 4. Um, so like that signals a lot to me. I think it looked interesting. Like you said, this is a game that if I were the studio, I would not want to be releasing this game. Uh, with everything else that's coming out right now. It's
Yeah,
just a tough sell, really. It's the end of
definitely.
the day.
Hmm. Hopefully, I wish it the best. It was one that
Same.
caught my eye, and I thought, yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm hoping it does well, but I also don't know if I'll even buy it day one. So we'll see about it.
It looks like it
Um,
might be like one of those Slitterhead, situations where it looks like a good game, but I don't think commercially it'll be successful.
I think
a lot of people liked it though, didn't they?
Yeah.
Slitterhead.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
people said it was
yeah.
good. It was unique,
Mm,
but it just didn't take off.
I think if I
mm,
could tell Sony one thing, like these are the type of games that you want to leverage on PS Plus. Um,
mm,
like if you really want to
definitely.
be like for the industry and really grow your portfolio and make PS Plus really interesting, these are the type of games you want to put day one on there. Keep your first party
Hmm.
titles off there. Keep your really big titles off of there to like a year or 2 years later. Um, but the stuff like this, like it's interesting, it's cool game design. They've obviously worked really hard on it. You're featuring it at a state of play. And then at the end of the day, if you say, and it's coming day one on PS Plus, people would be like,
They'll play it.
check
Yeah.
it out. Yeah, and it's again,
Hmm.
it's online multiplayer, so there you go. It's the tie into PS Plus perfectly. I think
Definitely.
it would do them a lot of good, the studio and Sony to like really push something like that.
No, I totally agree with that. It's one of the things that Xbox does really well with Game Pass. A lot of their kind of the more niche games released on Game Pass to quite good success, and that obviously promoted the actual platform of Game Pass itself. Like Alters, I think was a Game Pass
Yep,
one, wasn't it?
that was a game.
And that one did. I don't think that one would have gotten as much word of mouth if it wasn't for Game Pass. I think there's a lot of examples you can give for stuff like that. So hopefully they listen to you, Matt. PlayStation, if you're watching, listen to Matt, please. Another
Jim
one I
Ryan back.
wanted. What? Say that again. Did you say bring Jim Ryan back?
Bring Jim Ryan back. Bring the PC ports back.
Fair play. I thought. Wait. What is going on with the whole
No
PC
idea.
ports?
They're
Have
just
they
they're done.
announced
They're pretty much
anything?
done.
They
I think
actually
based
really
on
are.
Yeah, so they haven't announced anything. Herman Hall said in a email or in a town hall that the single player games are pretty much going to stay on PlayStation from now going forward. And I think that's just, we don't have to get into it again. I think that's just the best as for the brand
Okay.
itself to thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. The next one I wanted to quickly talk about is No Rest for the Wicked getting its full 1.0 and console release in October. Are either of you guys excited at all for that? Matt?
Yeah, I am. This is one I've had
Nice.
my eye on for a long time. Fume and I have
Same.
talked about it offline a little bit.
Nice. Nice.
Looks super good. Like I'd say for any Souls like and Diablo fan, recommend it
Mm.
to either of you. The gear system's really cool. The art style is really cool. The story has really strong hooks.
Mm.
They've been working on it for a long time, adding and subtracting things. It's another co-op game. It's just like not enough good things I could say about it. I really hope it does well. It seems like it's already trending in the right direction. Really interesting. It's not coming out on Switch 2 and Xbox to release. For their studio head, I believe, came out and
Thomas
said,
Mailer.
is he the studio head or the creative director? Probably both.
I don't know. Maybe both. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he came out and basically, you don't see this very often, but he said like the consoles just don't have enough power for us to get them on there. Normally they'll like kind of say, we're just working on developing and stuff, and but that candor you don't really see. But I'm super excited. I hope it launches very well and a lot of people check it out because it seems to me like they've built a really cool game.
So I actually, when the game first came out, I played it and I made a YouTube video talking about it, and I enjoyed it. It's honestly just Dark Souls with a, Diablo camera angle. And I don't want to say there's nothing more to say than that, but if by hearing that it's Dark Souls with a Diablo camera angle, you know what it is. It plays the same, it has the same kind of progression as like Dark Souls, and the combat feels very similar. It's rolling, it feels heavy, you got a bunch of different weapons. It's just a fun game, and it's definitely a game that I'm gonna pick up because it was super fun. And honestly, I don't have really much more to say about it. It was just a fun action adventure game.
Nice. I'm been watching this one for a long time. Obviously, unlike you guys, I don't have a PC good enough to play most games, so I don't game on PC at all, really. So I haven't touched this, looked into the early access or anything. I've only seen kind of people's impressions, bits of clips online. I've always been really interested in it because I really loved Moon Studios' last projects, the Ori games.
Yeah.
When I first saw the release, I was a bit skeptical because I was like, this isn't, because I obviously expected them to kind of stick the Ori route. I was expecting another beautiful like Metroidvania. I was really surprised that they were going for like an isometric Souls-like route. But then I thought, well, it's interesting that they've made that kind of jump, so they must have a passion and a vision for it. And then when I saw the first kind of gameplay and stuff, I was really impressed. I love their artwork. Their artwork is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. It kind of reminds me a bit of the Netflix Arcane show, that kind of look in this game. But it was always stunning in Ori as well. So I'm really excited, and I'm also really happy that it's coming out in my birth month. So I'll definitely be picking that up. Yeah, I feel like they did that just for me. So I'm gonna say thank you guys.
They did. They
They're
love
like,
you, Jay.
with their Jay's birthday. It's funny because I tweeted about it maybe a month ago, just saying what is going on with it, and then they're obviously dropping it on my birthday month. So what can I say? Can't wait, man. What's next on the docket? Onimusha Way of the Sword, guys. Obviously that was featured at the State of Play, but more excitingly was they dropped the demo then and there as well. Sort of shadow dropped that demo. Have either of you guys had a chance to try it out yet?
I have not.
Oh, shame, man. I'm
What about you,
surprised
Maddie?
at you, Fume. I love
Yeah,
your Capcom.
I do. I love
Mm.
Capcom, and so the thing is, I know it's a game I'm gonna get, and I
Mm.
feel like it's very, I know the combat. I've seen it. It's parry focused, and it's kind of just like
Mm.
a tankier Sekiro. It looks like when I
Mhm.
was watching the combat. So I know I'm gonna like it. I know it's gonna be a good game. So I don't want to see any more of it until I actually play it, because I feel like it's gonna be very story heavy and focused, and I want to be surprised. And around that time, anyways, I think there's like 3 freaking big games coming out. There's Silent Hill Townfall. Phantom Blade Zero was coming out around
Yep.
that. It got moved, and then
Yep. Blood of the
obviously
Dawnwalker.
Blood of the Dawnwalker. Then we have
Mhm.
Onimusha, and there's
Wolverine.
Wolverine. There's one other
Mhm.
game that's coming out on the 24th or 25th. So it's just very packed, and I'm gonna just Control. That's
Control
what it is.
Resonant. That's
And
what it was. Yes.
and that's
Yeah.
like another game I'm gonna get. So I'm getting
Mhm.
all 3 of
Mhm.
those games. I don't want to see more about those games because I want to be surprised pretty much.
That's fair enough.
They're all very good looking games.
Nice. Matt, have you tried out the Onimusha demo?
Bro, I hate Capcom. Can they just chill for half a second and stop coming out with good games? Like, dude, I was like, I don't want to like this, but I do. And like, I played it and I was like, at first, and then I got to the boss and I was like, man, they really are cooking, aren't they?
Yeah.
I definitely recommend checking out the demo. Super fun. I know hit the final boss. just because I was like, this is sick. Super cool. I wouldn't compare it to Sekiro. I don't.
No,
It's its
it
own,
looks very similar almost.
but it's very much its own thing because like you're um yes, there's like a posture bar and stuff, but it's much more about like it's almost like a rhythm game. And I know people say Sekiro is too, but instead of like an aggressive rhythm game, it's much more like it's almost like Guitar Hero. Like you're sitting there like taking everything in and you're like parry, slow attack, light attack, like in that cadence.
Dodge.
It's yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
very like
Mm-hmm.
measured. And then you can like plan it out in a cool way. And then like the different timings also impact it as well. So like if you parry early, you get way less bang for your buck than if you parry late. Um,
Mm,
and like then you're using uh defeating enemies to power up abilities and things like that. It's a really cool concept. I do
mm,
agree with people though that the enemies could be slightly more aggressive. Even like the boss I noticed. Um like, when I was trying to no-hit him, because the loading screen was really long, uh, I would just let him kill me to reset the fight, and then to start every fight, I had to attack him or, like, wait a really long time for him to attack me, and,
mm,
I think it's maybe a little bit overblown that they're, like, super passive 'cause I'm pretty sure that's the point, but I think they could
mm,
maybe tune it by, like, 20% or so. Just a little bit more
okay.
to where, you know, you're kinda in the flow more often. But
Mm,
super cool visuals, really unique, um, combat system. Just, yeah, check it out if you got a chance, but if you don't wanna spend any more money, don't play the demo, please. Begging you. Yeah.
Because then you'll
demo,
like it
it
too much, and
will.
then you'll spend the money.
100%. It will sell it to you because I had a similar experience to you, Matt. Starting it off, I knew I was gonna like it, but to begin with, I was a bit like, oh, okay, what's this gonna be like? And by the time I got to that boss at the end, I was like, oh, this combat is awesome, man. And I would second what you said. It's comparable to something like Sekiro with the parrying and stuff, and even the kind of aesthetic, but it's a lot more deliberately paced. I feel like I think it's supposed to be quite slow, but you'll notice that when more enemies are on screen and you're kind of getting mobbed, that's when it feels a lot faster paced. So if you're just fighting one or two or three enemies, it feels a bit slower. You'll be waiting around. But once you get surrounded and they add some different kind of enemy types into the mix, it gets pretty hectic at times because also Joe Musashi also feels deliberately paced. He's not like super fast. It's definitely not a hack and slash game. It's almost like an interesting blend of hack and slash with typical Souls like or Sekiro like would be more the term. I even when I posted about my experience with the demo, I really enjoyed it. I said it gave me a Souls like vibe. At the risk of sounding very redundant, because everybody says that about anything with a sword these days, but not necessarily the actual combat or even the progression or anything, but the actual feeling you get, like the area, the kind of dark and gritty. It was giving me that kind of exploring this sort of desolate place. I felt like I was playing a Souls game at times, but I can't stress enough the combat is far from a Souls like. It does look really good, and like Matt and Fume said, if you don't want to end up buying the game, avoid that demo because that demo is really good. But Fume, I would say, I know you're happy to just jump into it because you know you're going to get it anyway. The demo doesn't really give away much at all. It just gives you a taste of the gameplay and a little bit of the story, but it still it leaves me with more questions than answers. Like even the boss you fight, I've got a lot of questions about what the actual hell his character is. Do you feel the same way, Matt? Like it kind of leaves you wanting.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does. It
Uh, but yeah, it was a really fun demo, and I'm glad. Not too long, but not too short. I feel like it was a perfect kind of slice of what's to come. I'm super excited for Onimusha Way of the Sword. I'm glad you guys are going to be on that as well. I look forward to talking about that later down the line. I'm going to look through our little list here.
And it's Capcom, so you know it's going to be good. You know, they
runs
really don't
phenomenally
miss.
well as well. Like it was getting
Yeah.
100 plus frames on like basically max settings. Like it's crazy.
Nice. It looks really pretty as well.
It does.
Obviously, for the sake of Fume, if no one else, we've got to talk about Silent Hill Townfall. Fume, I'll let you take it away, and then Matt, you jump in when you're ready. I've got nothing to say. I'll be honest. You guys kind of know I'm kind of over Silent Hill at this point in my gaming career. Maybe you guys can convince me to give it another shot, but my time with the remake of the second game was just anyway.
So Silent Hill Townfall. So one thing that I like about what they're doing with the Silent Hill games is they're taking them out of the town of Silent Hill. A lot of people are just like, it's got to be in the town of Silent Hill. It's in the name, but it's more about the how am I going to put this into words? It's more about the because every person's Silent Hill is different. You know, it's a reflection of the battle that they're having with themselves when they get there. You know, Silent Hill 2, James is battling what happened with his wife. As Silent Hill F, it's Hinako battling her family life and how she's being pressured to get into marriage. And what I like about the newer Silent Hill games is they're taking the fog world and they're making it unique to that person. Like in the original Silent Hill, it's just, it's just a town, it's foggy and stuff. But in Silent Hill F, it's a town that's foggy, but it takes all the Japanese aesthetic, cherry blossoms and things like that, and putting it in. And one thing I noticed about Silent Hill Townfall is the fog area, it's red fog this time. So I don't know what that's going to insinuate, how that's going to play into it. And they have unique mechanics too now. What they're doing with every single one is this one's first person, Silent Hill F was a primarily melee combat game, and it was slower, and it actually worked. I think if you want to honestly get a good feel for the Silent Hill series, Jay, I think if you didn't like Silent Hill 2 Remake, I think Silent Hill F will be a better game to go in because it honestly plays a lot different. It's a third person, survival horror game, but they take the melee combat and they incorporate it so well. It's slower, it's deliberate, the weapons break. Some people might not like that, but you find so many ways. It's just a good game with resource management and all that. So I think Silent Hill Townfall will be just as good. It's going to be your typical Silent Hill game. There's going to be a good story with the character battling something from his past or something that he just can't accept. And you're going to go through and fight a bunch of fucked up creatures in a world filled with fog. So it's going to be good. And I like the radio mechanic too, because they made it so you can't see into the fog, and sometimes you got to use the radio to see where an enemy is if you can't see them. So it'll be good. It's going to be awesome. That is going to be my day one September game. As you guys know, survival horror is my favorite genre, so I'm there. I'm there day one, baby. I already pre-ordered that shit.
Of course you did. How about you, Matt? Is it a day one for you?
No, not a survival horror person, but I will say I think this could be Silent Hill's Resident Evil 7 moment where they show that, like, I know Silent Hill F was awesome, Resident Evil 2 Remake, or Silent Hill 2 Remake, awesome. But like, I'm excited for it's Team Silent still, right? They still make the games.
I actually don't know. Okay. I think it's a completely different team.
Yeah, whoever makes them, I'm excited for them to like be able to flex and show like we can do our own thing, like really do our own thing. Which can happen with that perspective shift. It looked terrifying. Like I can't hang. Like, no, thank you. I need to sleep. I'm okay.
So the developer is Screenburn. The developer's Screenburn. Yeah.
Never heard of them.
So it's a completely different developer.
Different from even the last one.
Yeah. So Silent Hill F, I think that was like Neobard or something. Silent Hill F.
Okay.
I can just check.
And Blooper Team or Bloober Team, they did the remake, right?
Yep. And they're doing the remake.
Oh, so they've
just
got a bunch of different devs working on this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so that's kind of what you're saying. Each game is its own thing because they actually have a completely different development. Okay, that makes me more likely to try out F now that I know it's going to be quite different.
So, Jay, you know what you should do with Silent Hill 2 Remake is the issue that I had on my first playthrough. I played on normal. It was way too easy. They give you so many bullets, and it's kind of the levels are very samey because when you're playing Silent Hill 2, you go to the apartment buildings. Every room looks the same, So it's kind of, and then the next area they're kind of just big mazes of places. So I think if you play on hard, it'll give you a little bit more of a challenge. What was it that you didn't like? Do you think your mood at the time was just like not feeling it too, and it could have been that more than maybe the actual game itself?
I'll be honest. I think what it was that I'd just gotten off the back of playing a lot of Resident Evil. Yeah. And I think I went in really looking for more Resident Evil. And I think I learned the harsh lesson that Resident Evil Silent Hill is not. is a different vibe, different, completely different, even type of horror. It's a lot less action focused, and so I was there thinking. I remember I was even going to post about it a while ago, but I never ended up doing it. But I was sitting there thinking maybe I'm not really a survival horror fan. Maybe I'm a Resident Evil fan.
Mm.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I
So
do.
I
I
think
do.
because I think I bounced off a lot of other similar games. I think the only other survival horror game, and I might go back on my words, but I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything else that I really, really enjoyed was The Sinking City.
I never played that.
Obviously, that one's quite a far cry from Resident Evil in its own way as well. And in some ways, it could even be more closely compared to Silent Hill. But again, I think I went into that with a more open mind. I think I went into Silent Hill looking for something to scratch the Resident Evil itch, and it really isn't going to do that. So I will give it another go. I just think I need to take some time away from it before I kind of make myself hate it for real.
Did you play Alan Wake 2?
Yes, I liked Alan Wake too.
Okay. Okay.
I
So I
did
think it's
like
maybe
Alan
a
Wake.
certain spice of survival horror is what you like.
Yeah. That's a good example actually. That was the only other yes. So my favorites have been Resident Evil, obviously the remakes,
Mhm.
and Alan Wake 2 and The Sinking City. Those are the ones that I've played and really enjoyed. Other survival horror that I've tried, like Outlast was another one. Outlast 2 bounced
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
off of
Yeah.
that. Didn't really enjoy that, although I did play the first one way back when and played it all the way through. But yeah, and then Silent Hill 2. I think it's just Resident Evil kind of got its claws into me, and nothing's really comparing to that.
Do this for me. Next time you see
Mm.
Silent Hill F on sale,
Mm.
scoop that. And I think that
Okay,
might be more of your flavor because
I'll try it. Yeah.
it's just I think it's better than the Silent Hill 2 remake in its own way.
Okay,
It's just
nice.
a very unique
I was
take on
actually
Silent Hill.
interested in F. It's just when I didn't really enjoy Silent Hill 2, I thought I'll kind of take a break. And there's just too many games.
Yeah.
So when one thing kind of puts you off, it's just too easy to kind of Matt, I don't know if it's just me that keeps catching your little avatar there doing the maddest stuff. But you just literally look to the side like what is going on with it?
Yeah.
Does
It
does it
keeps
pick you up
catching
on your
my eye.
camera? Like if you look
Yeah.
to the left, does it look to the left too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn it
yeah.
on
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Okay.
Okay.
makes sense.
It's so funny sometimes. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, so that was Silent Hill Townfall. What are we talking about next? Oh, here's a horror game. I'm not sure if it's survival horror, but another horror game that I'm actually quite interested in is Ill. I remember seeing a reveal for this years ago now. It must have been like 5 years ago, and I don't think I'm even exaggerating. And it was the deformation physics. That was what they were more showing off. Like this guy had a shotgun, he's blowing these things apart.
Yep.
It's come a long way even then. And even back then, it was really impressive. The trailers now obviously a lot more polished, but they've obviously stuck with that really visceral, gory. And normally I don't really like too much gore or anything, but the attention to detail with this is genuinely impressive. And I think it's, at least back then, it was like an indie or it wasn't like a full AAA. I don't know if this got more funding now or anything, but that looks really interesting. I think that might, depending on when it releases, it might have to be a day one pickup for me.
Oh yeah.
Is that your bag,
Oh,
Hume?
dude, day one, the game looks fucking phenomenal. And you're right.
Nice.
It was originally revealed in 2021 and it was a much smaller project. And they came out like I think it was a year or two ago and they showed it and it looks
Yeah.
terrifying. The enemy design.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And honestly, the gun physics too, like when you shoot
Mhm.
an enemy, fucking blows their head off, they fly back, hit into a bunch of like barrels, and it just looks very chaotic and very
It does.
like
Yeah.
this game is going to be a day one because they're just doing the atmosphere and aesthetic right of survival horror. And I like how games are starting to go more into first person with survival horror. I feel like historically it's been a lot of third person when you play a survival horror game. And bringing this into first person is going to give some new life to the series, like it's happening with Silent Hill Townfall. There's many different genres in survival horror. So this one looks like it's going to be a little bit more action packed than more resource management because there's a lot of combat from what I've seen in the trailers. But I think they're dealing with the atmosphere and the aesthetic correctly to where I'm just like, dude, this game looks sick. It looks terrifying and it looks like a day one purchase. So
I'm glad you're hyped for it.
Very
Okay,
hyped.
you're gonna get me more hyped for it now. Matt, what's your take on Ill so far?
I've said it once, I'll say it again. Unreal Engine 5 is dope. I know it gets a lot of flack, but they
Mm.
can do some really, really cool stuff with that engine when devs
Mhm.
put work into it.
Mhm.
Just looks insane. Like stuff
Mm.
that they're able to do with specifically humanoid models now in Unreal Engine and its interactivity and its reactivity. I definitely encourage people to go look up stuff on YouTube because there's people throwing up tech demos of just the wildest thing you've ever seen. Like, can you imagine if something like this gets implemented into The Witcher 4, where like you cut someone in half and like their like guts are all on the ground and stuff? Because The Witcher's a very visceral story.
Mhm.
Like I think I'm personally not interested in this game, but I can appreciate it for the tech that they're showing because it genuinely is like how like the fluid tech on some of these like fat grotesque enemies, the way it moves and reacts in like real-time physics is just crazy. I'm like,
Insane.
it's wild to watch.
Mhm.
So, if you're a horror fan, definitely check this one out, especially if you like stuff like
Mhm.
Saw. Like if you're a big fan of
Yes.
what would you call that? Slasher flicks. This is
Mm.
definitely something for you, for sure.
Yep.
Nice. No, definitely ill is one. I'm not too keen on the gory Saw side of things, but like Matt said, the kind of technical prowess on offer and the passion behind the team, especially because it, like you said, Fume, it started off on a much smaller scale when I first
Yep.
heard about it. I'm really
Yep.
happy to see it's kind of ballooned. I am worried that when I do play it, I might be biting off a bit more than I can chew because I'm not great with
Looks
horror, to be
scary.
honest. It
Looks
looks scary
terrifying.
as hell, yeah, and
Like, did
I'm
you see
worried
the
that
stalker enemy too with the big suit and the massive gun? And he freaking
yes.
walks out in the snow, blows the zombie's head off.
That's
He goes flying. It looks
I
terrifying.
feel like I'm going to be equally as scared as running away as shooting at them because it's going to be disgusting when you do shoot at them. It's going to be terrifying when they're coming after you. So I don't know how much of it I'm going to be able to play without just being like putting the controller in front of my face, man. It's a far cry from I've realized Resident Evil is the kind of low tier horror in comparison to other things, if that makes sense. It's not as terrifying as other games. I feel like other games are scarier. Like
I don't
Resident
know,
Evil
man.
has
I
a
don't know, man.
way.
Resident Evil 2 remake when Mr. X first comes, that's freaking terrifying.
It is terrifying, but no, it's not. Like it looks like it should be more gory than it even is. I don't know what it is. Maybe I just love Resident Evil so much.
It
I've
could be
just got
that.
rose tinted goggles, and I'm just there like in fairyland. I feel like I have so much control in Resident Evil as well. Oh, speaking of control, how are you guys feeling about Control Resonant? All I have to say is, much like Tomb Raider, this is one that I'm just gonna get. I don't really have much to say, but I feel bad not to give it its flowers and to mention it. The new trailer that we saw, it was State of Play, wasn't it? Yeah, State of Play was really good. I think we saw it again at SGF, if I'm not
We
mistaken.
did.
Yeah.
Saw two different
So yeah,
trailers.
everything I've seen, but it looks amazing. But I already knew I was going to get this from the first gameplay reveal, from its first reveal, since I knew Control 2 was a thing. So, Fume, how are you feeling about Resonant? I think you mentioned it earlier. This is one that you were going to pick up, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks good. I mean, Remedy always cooks. They make great
Yes,
games no
they
matter
do.
what.
They
Alan
do.
Wake, Control, everything before that. It's only $50 too. So
Mm.
it's not gonna. I feel like that price point will help. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking into that. I was just like
Nice.
50.
They're so good. I feel like they're one of the few devs that are really for the
Oh
players in
no,
that
I'm
kind of
wrong.
sense.
It's
What?
$60. I don't know why I
Oh,
have the
damn.
record.
You
So
just...
it's $60. So I apologize for that, but it looks
At
good.
least it's not 70.
Exactly,
Somebody
exactly.
clip that.
It looks good. It looks like it's gonna be like a fast paced Devil May Cry action game, and I'm here for that. And
Yeah,
Remedy makes good aesthetic shit, so I
they
know I'm
do.
gonna like the game. So
I'm
it's a
very
game I'm gonna
interested
play.
by the story as well. The
Yeah.
story, I want to see how it, because it's just weird how it's going to tie into the
It's the
whole
main character of
wider
Control's
narrative.
brother, apparently.
Yeah. And
That's
then
cool.
obviously they're going to have to tie Alan Wake in there because it's all one big thing. Like, the story, I'm really like, it's a mind fuck, but an interesting one for sure. Matt, is this one that you're definitely picking up?
Not day one.
Okay, fair play.
I did enjoy Control.
Mm,
I'm a little bit worried because September is incredibly packed. And it's coming out right after Wolverine, which I'm
mm.
sure will be a much more mainstream game. Um, this is not an Epic Game Store exclusive, though. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not
Oh,
fuck
good,
that shit.
good.
I hate
So
that.
I do think that will help a significant amount because the PC community is a big fan of Remedy games. They get
Mm.
modded all the time, shown off for graphics, all that kind of stuff. Um, so I'm hoping it does well. I'll definitely check out the story. Like I'll probably watch a YouTube video on the story in the meantime, just because I find the universe really interesting. Um, but yeah, that's my only concern is it's a very packed month. I just don't know if this is like that. Its nicheness is its strength, but I don't think
Yeah,
its nicheness is a strength when there's other games that people are also gravitating toward.
I know exactly what you mean. I agree. I do worry about it a bit. I think because Control was such a almost an unexpected success, right? You would have thought Alan Wake 2, an existing IP, would have done better, but I think Control was their big hit and still is. So it's quite Control Resonant is quite a departure from what Control was, even though it's this continuing the story, set in the same universe. It's a completely different game with a completely different gameplay style. And I do feel like they're risking a lot by dropping this kind of niche game that's also kind of alienated its existed audience and dropped a hack and slash game right next to Wolverine, Onimusha, and then even though it got delayed, Phantom Blade is like only a month after that, and these are all really big, kind of hyped up games in the same. A lot of the same people are going to play those games. Like we're all in that same bracket that would play all of those games. It's going to be hard. Some people are going to pick up one game that month. Some people are going to pick up one game that quarter. You know what I mean? So it is going to be a rough sell for sure. I do hope they can pull it off though.
I just think that that time is just those 3 games releasing on those 2 days, Onimusha, Silent Hill Townfall, and Control Resonant. I feel like it's just gonna take away from all of them, and the sales are just gonna be
Yeah.
kinda lukewarm for each because
Yeah.
For saying those are like very similar audiences.
yes, they are very
No, no, no. I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right.
Like I
Mhm.
just like
No, yeah.
those smaller AAA developers, but like passionate fan bases, but not very mainstream. Like
Yep.
I wouldn't consider Silent Hill mainstream, believe it or not. But like, just like you said, I just worry they're gonna basically steal each other's thunder.
Yeah.
And like I said before, like these are the type of games that I wish were releasing right now, like literally in June,
Mm,
because like this is the moment. They had a lot of trailers. If they were done and ready, this would just be prime time, basically. You
I think
drop
you're
the
right.
trailers, you say in 3 weeks you can play the game. It would have been great. But like you said,
I
this is
think
a
you're right.
crazy year for a number of reasons.
They need
So
to
many.
push some of these games into October because October is pretty mild right now. I don't think there's a
But
lot really.
then
And
I think people are avoiding Call of
I
Duty and
know,
GTA.
it's really
I
Call
know.
of Duty. Yeah, it's not even
Mhm.
GTA at that point. It's like
Is Call of Duty
Mm,
in October? Is that when that?
yeah.
it is on October.
Oh, okay. Now I
But I
understand.
still do think some people don't even want to touch October because it's right before November. Like a lot of people, GTA is going to be their game for the year. The GTA's audience is just stupid. But who was it that said? I want to say not stupid like they're stupid. I mean, it's stupid big. Sorry.
Yeah.
I am one of I'm one of those people. I'm a GTA audience as well. But yeah, I think what was it? Was it the Control devs that said they're not worried about GTA because they think that it's going to bring more gamers in? I think that's a nice way of looking at it, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because I think a lot of people, publishers, and obviously console creators are looking at GTA to bring a big boom into the market or the
Yeah.
industry. I'm very skeptical on that myself, just because I
Super.
think people are overlooking the absolute disgusting, and obviously we don't want to get like political and boring on this, but the economic crisis
Yes.
throughout the whole world right now. Like GTA might not make the kind of dent that they're expecting. It's still going to be huge, but I think there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to cry to mom and dad, "Oh, give me a PS5. I want to play GTA," and the parents are like, "No, you can have a Switch too if you're lucky." Do you know what I mean? No, but if I had like a little kid, like when I was a kid, and these things were really expensive, we kind of grew up in a time where the economy was never great throughout my life. It wasn't like it is now. Do you know what I mean? I could beg my dad for a couple of weeks and I'd get what I want. If I had a child right now and they were talking to me about £700 or £600 so that you can play some game shooting prostitutes, I don't think so. You know what I mean?
Like I got my fucking GameCube in 2002 for $100, man.
Yeah,
That
man,
was
it's
easy to
ridiculous.
ask my mother for
Yeah,
back then.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
if I had to ask her for something for $600-700, like you just said,
No,
that's
yeah,
crazy.
no,
That's like a
no, for a
Christmas.
child.
Yeah, that's
And I
like a
know that a
Christmas
lot of
present.
adults will buy it as well, but there's also going to be a lot of adults that are going to be like, I'm not going to buy a whole new console. You know what I mean? Some people will, but I really do worry that it's not going to be what a lot of people are expecting it to be, and it will be very interesting to see. I wish it all the best. But one more thing before we move on, guys, actually, I want to ask you, as PC players, you've mentioned a few times about Epic Games exclusivity. Now, I don't play on PC. I have a Steam account. I've never used Epic Games, but from what I understand, they're both launchers, right?
Yes.
Why do people hate Epic Games so much when all you have to do is download another little app and download the game off of it? Is it because you can't track your achievements? What is it?
No, it's just like it's the same way if like you had an Xbox and a PlayStation and like you gotta switch your input to play your Xbox exclusive. It's just annoying. Like all the games
Okay.
are on Steam and like I
Okay.
like Steam. You know,
So
it's yeah. Yeah.
Steam has a community, and it has so many built-in features like message boards, a good achievement system, and just a really good user interface. And like you have your friends list, you can mess like there's a lot of features that Steam. I might not be updated on what Epic has added since, but there's a lot of basic features that Epic just doesn't have. Like they didn't have a shopping cart for the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 years of the store's existence. Like little
Even Amazon
simple.
has a fucking shopping cart. What are they?
That's
Why wouldn't they have a? How do you buy games then? What do you do on it?
Yeah, and it also one thing that's annoying is it brought a form of like exclusivity to PC
Oh, okay.
that really wasn't there before. Yeah, when Steam first came to PC, everyone was pissed, but they
Mm,
streamlined it to make it better so everyone
mm.
enjoyed it. You know, they have the good features, everything's in one place, your friends list, achievements, your games, everything's there. And the Epic Game Store performance is also just not that great either. Like
Oh, damn.
yeah,
Okay.
when I go to start it up, I start up Steam, it's up in 30 seconds. When I go to start up Epic Game Store, it takes about 5 minutes to start up. And then
Okay.
to click
Okay.
into my games, it's another 5 minutes and shit loads. Sometimes it crashes. It's just not a good competitor to Steam. And they're forcing
Okay.
people on it with games where I'd rather have it on Steam so I can get the achievements and
Okay.
use cloud save so I can play it on my computer and then go to my Steam Deck and I have everything
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Like the integration with the Steam ecosystem makes it very simple, especially if you have their hardware and stuff. So, I
Okay.
mean, it's the product of Steam being around for 20 years, but then there's also Epic Game Store who could have looked at Steam, said, hey, we should implement all these features and more.
Yeah. It's
Because
surprising that they haven't.
one thing that Epic Games does better is their achievement system. So on
Mm,
Steam, you have a Steam level, and that's related to trading cards and stupid shit. On Epic
mm.
Game Store, achievements have experience, and the experience goes towards your level. So that is the only thing that I think is better. But then there's also the issue of games aren't required to have achievements on Epic. So it's just a clusterfuck of just small issues that add up to make it.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that to me because I always, obviously, as somebody that doesn't play on PC, I always saw people and I'm like, why are you crying? Just download the fucking thing, play the game, man. I don't.
If you're a
But
casual
I
gamer,
do
it's not
get it.
bad. You
Yeah,
just buy
yeah,
the game,
but
you play it, you're not going to think
you've
anymore.
set up your base, and I do get it when you compare it to like Xbox and PlayStation because I have both.
Yeah.
I lean more PlayStation because I prefer the UI, I prefer the experience. Everything runs a bit more seamlessly. At Xbox, there are some things that Xbox does a bit better, but generally, my experience, I enjoy the PlayStation experience. Maybe it's just because I'm just more accustomed to it, so I totally
Yeah.
get it. I think if I was on PC, I'd also prefer Steam, but I've
Yes.
also a lot more experience with Steam. I've never once installed Epic, so
Yes.
I
And that's why people
probably,
get
if I had
mad.
PC, is just play the Epic exclusives on whatever console they're on. I wouldn't
Exactly.
probably use it. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
libraries
Sorry,
they
go on,
give
Matt.
you, stuff like that.
Mm.
Like you
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
okay, that makes sense.
odds are, unless it's an Epic Game Store exclusive, if you want the game, it's on Steam, which makes it
Yeah.
really easy with like wish listing and gifting and all those other things that like it's not that Epic is a problem, like it's just
Mm.
annoying, right? It's like
It's just not as good.
if my homie's
Yeah.
on an Epic Game Store and like I want to go gift something, it's like cool, I gotta open up another window, I gotta enter in card information somewhere else, I gotta go do that. Whereas
Mm.
like on Steam, if I want to gift Fume something, it's like boom, boom, done. Here you go. Take the game. Have fun.
Yeah, I
Exactly. It's
get
missing
you.
features. And there's things like mods where some mods are just the way that it installs on your computer with the file paths and things like that. Some mods just don't work because they're built for the way Steam integrates the files into
That makes
download shit.
sense.
So
Makes sense.
there's just a lot of little issues, like I said, that just build up to make it just one piece of shit launcher.
Clip it. Clip it now. That's jokes. Well, thank you so much for explaining that to me as a PC kind of layman. Um, oh, before we move on to some bigger, two bigger games, I wanted to talk about with specifically Matt, because I think Fume, like me, you probably don't have an awful lot to say. Matt, how are we feeling about Marathon Season 2 and what they showed at State of Play? Because I'll be honest with you, when I was watching it all went, I didn't. I didn't really follow what it was
I'm
on
gonna run to
about.
the bathroom quick.
Go for
No,
it.
it's if Fume gives less stuff, it gives zero shits about Marathon. Anyway, go on, Matt. I'm interested.
I think it's just a missed opportunity to basically show the same social media video that they posted like 2 days prior. They like the video's fine, but like I don't know. I think they could have just done more to show stuff. The
Okay.
new stuff in season 2 is awesome. The night mode is crazy.
Nice.
There's new enemies. It's not like Ark where the night mode is just the map at night and you get better loot. It's entirely different. Like there's a whole another section that you can access. There's different loot,
Okay.
harder enemies, like all that kind of stuff. So that was really cool. They
Okay.
added like some really interesting lighting technology. So like you can use LiDAR scopes and other stuff like that. They added new progression systems. There's like a PvE light mode now. So if people don't really want to do PvP, they have like,
Okay.
yeah. All that stuff is really good. Like I said, I think the team's super on top of it. And if you like Bungie shooters and how they feel, Marathon feels like that. Just in a modern skin. And they have a free week. That was the other thing, right? Like I think
That was it. Yes.
yeah. If they could have really advertised like we have a free week, please come play the game in that trailer, I think it would have done a lot better. Because I know a lot of people know about it, that they do have a free week, but like that's to me what they should have used it for, is like, here's the features, here's the free week, come play immediately. I don't know if you knew this, but the servers took a shit on the launch of season 2.
No, I didn't
I
hear
swear
about.
this game is cursed. Like it's so unfortunate because the game is, but it just keeps like running into these issues, and it's like Bungie can't get out of its own way. Luckily, they did extend the free week because of the server issues, and they compensated.
Okay, good. Is the free week going now? Is it happening?
Yeah. It's live till the 11th.
Shit, till the 11th. Okay.
Yeah. So they're very generous with what they gave to people for the free period. It's on sale right now, I think, too. The other thing,
I saw that come up on my thing because it's in my wish list. I saw it come up. Yeah, it's on sale. I think it was like 20% off. If maybe I think it was 20% off. Yeah, I remember looking at it thinking, yeah. Because it's
So yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it was a missed opportunity to basically just show something you've already shown. But I would encourage anybody, if you're even the like slightest bit interested, just like play, I don't know, we'll say 5 hours as like a rough amount of time to get acquainted with what the game is. And if it's not clicking after 5 hours, I'll tell you straight up, it's probably just not going to click for you. But give it about that time, and like I said, it's free right now, so definitely check it out.
Nice. I might give it another go now that it's free again, but I've got so much on my plate, man. I don't know. What was there something else I was going to ask you? Are you still playing? Do you still play, like, get in at least once a day or week, or what's your kind of?
I just put in like 25 hours this past week.
Okay, cool. So you play it like every day? Is it an every day for you?
Yeah. I try and get in like maybe 2 or 3 runs a day, something like that.
How's the player base looking now? Because I know it didn't flop, but it didn't break the world or anything.
It 10x from its lowest point of season 1 with the launch of season 2. So that was good. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I think it's definitely not where Bungie wants it. Or Sony, but like I don't know.
It's not dead.
No, it's not dead, and I highly doubt that it will be dying anytime soon.
Good. Okay. I want it to do well. I just when I played the first kind of free demo, I think they did like a beta test or something. I tried that out and it just didn't click with me. But I think it's not the game's fault. I think it's just the fault of my brain and wanting to play so many things right now and being more single player focused. I find it so hard. Same with Ark Raiders. I played one match of that. I paid like 40 quid for that and never played it again. So I'm just really bad with online games, to be fair. Next up, we've got Until Dawn 2. I really enjoyed the first game made by Supermassive. Interesting, this sequel is made by Firesprite, not Supermassive, which I don't know how I feel about that, but it did look really good. It looked like more Until Dawn. It looked quite cool. I don't know if this will be a day one for me. I think there's just so much coming out right now, and it's not appealing to me the way the first Until Dawn did. But what about you, Fume, as our resident horror, survival horror kind of fanatic? Is this tickling your fancy at all?
So I didn't play the first. I probably never will, and I will probably, I'm probably not going to play this game. It's just for some reason it just doesn't interest me, and I don't know why. It kind of seems like you're just playing a slasher movie, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't really like the. Can you even fight back in these games?
Not really. It's kind of is like an interactive film, isn't it? Really.
That's why I fell off Outlast 2. I played the first Outlast. I got through it. It was fine, but I just don't like that you can't fight back. So nothing against it. Just not for me.
Fair play, Matt. You're not really into horror, are you? Anyway, so
I'm not. The one thing that stuck out to me is they did such a hard right shift with the art style. The characters look entirely different from the first game. I know that it's a separate cast of characters. I don't have one brain cell, but like
they look so different. What have they replaced them all?
No, it's just like a very what's a good example of this art style? Do you guys remember the old Assassin's Creed? It was like the fourth part of Ezio's trilogy.
Yeah. The
Revelation.
Yeah.
No. Wait, is it Revelations?
It's
say that again.
It's they did this like short interactive movie thing after Revelation that shows how Ezio dies.
Yeah, he dies
with his like a Chinese apprentice that had her own kind of 2D game later. Right?
No. This is just
it was like claymation almost.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh,
they shifted the art style to essentially this, from my perspective at least, and I just don't know why. Like, I thought if you're gonna make an interactive movie, like make it look like a movie. Like
I thought it did. What did they do? Right. Oh, okay. Oh.
It really like just surprised me that they did something like that. But Until Dawn carries a lot of weight with a lot of people. Like it was kind of a cultural phenomenon for a little bit
at the time. Yeah.
And so that surprised me that they did such a graphic shift like that into something
interesting. I didn't even notice this, man. I'm just going to watch it again. Okay, fair. Well, I guess it's a bit lukewarm on Until Dawn 2. I hope it does well. Like I said, I quite enjoyed the first one, but it's interesting that Supermassive are not coming back for this.
Is Firesprite a PlayStation first-party studio?
I believe they are, yes.
Oh.
I think they are.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah. I'm hoping the best for it, but I don't know. I haven't seen many people talking about it. What did you find, Fume?
It is a PlayStation studio.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yep.
Nice.
Firesprite, a PlayStation studio is their Google link.
Nice. Owning it. Here's for the big one, guys. God of War Laufey. Or is it Laufey? Laufey, right?
I think it's Laufey.
Laufey, yeah.
Laufey.
I will kick this one off. I am excited. I trusted that this was going to be a banger as soon as it was kind of rumored. I know a lot of people pushed back on it can't be God of War without Kratos, but I think it can be God of War so long as Cory Barlog is involved. He hasn't given me any reason. Yeah, thank you.
For the people.
Thank you. It is God of War if Cory Barlog is involved, okay? Kratos, yes, we do need Kratos, but also, if you watch carefully, he is in the game, motherfuckers. You didn't watch the trailer. You're not a real fan. He is in the game. You may have been in it for all of 5 seconds, but he was there. You know who wasn't there?
Reyes?
Yeah. But I think he was as well. He was. He wasn't, but he was. Ignore me. Everybody's it's God of War.
So, but Jay, before you start
Yeah.
your rant, I just want to
Yeah.
ask something. So, since this is set in the afterlife, is it
Yeah.
already set after Kratos killed Baldur? Like, will Baldur show up in this afterlife?
I have no idea.
You know, because
That's a good question.
I think I
I'm
read it was
very
set
interested.
during.
I think it looks like somebody even on Twitter said, but I kind of pieced it together during that cutscene at the beginning.
Wait.
Go on. Whoa.
I have not played Ragnarok, and I have successfully avoided spoilers for 4 years. I would like to keep that streak going until I play it.
Okay, I wasn't going to say anything about Ragnarok, don't you worry, and I'll bear that in mind. What I was going to say is, do you remember in God of War 2018 when Kratos kind of dies?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you remember it, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah? And he sees Faye?
Yes.
Yes, that happens in that trailer. He appears as like a sort of mystic thing for like a split second. And she's like Kratos, he's like Faye, and then he's gone. That kind of tells us that the timeline is it's happening in tandem with God of War 2018. That's the inference I'm getting. Straight after her death. Yeah, it makes sense to me that is the timeline. So it's like a prequel, sort of, or in tandem with the first game, a prequel to Ragnarok, at least, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because the showcase started with her being cremated, which happens.
Yes. That's true, actually. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, no. So yeah, it definitely looks like it's happening in tandem. I'm super, super excited for it. The combat looks amazing. Like you mentioned when we were talking about Wolverine earlier, Matt, the visuals, stunning. I don't know what much more I can say apart from this is a must play for me. And Cory Barlog, once he's behind God of War, I'm fully confident that the time when I would get worried is if he steps away from a project. That's when I'm not sure about it, but I think this is going to be a legendary experience, man. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out as a PS6 launch title, though. I'm really wondering because they didn't give us a timeline, did they? They did. We just know that it's coming.
I think next year it's coming. From what?
Oh, really? Okay.
The whispers that I was reading is
okay. Is that's not confirmed though? Is that speculation? I wouldn't be surprised because my thing is we still haven't seen anything from Intergalactic, and I was thinking Intergalactic was going to be their kind of final close this generation game because that's obviously been announced. I'd be surprised if this came out next year with Intergalactic, or if this came out before Intergalactic. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I feel like they're supposed to be the big ones from Sony right now.
So what I think is we will get Intergalactic if it's on schedule. Like obviously delays do happen. Intergalactic and Faye next year, and then the God of War remakes will be the PS6 launch title.
Okay.
Alongside something else, like that could be a
Okay.
Bloodborne remaster.
Okay.
That could be
Oh,
like whatever else Sony wants to do with their first party studios. But like it will be like the God of War remakes and one other thing, like they did with Demon Souls and Rift Apart. Same kind of deal.
was Rift Apart a launch title?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It was launch window. It came out like
A launch window.
2 or 3 months after or something like that.
Nice. That was
Good game.
Oh,
I enjoyed that. Only
great game. Love it. I hope we get another Ratchet and Clank at some point. But
we will.
But it's going to be ages, though, isn't it? If it's going to be some Insomniac doing it, it's going to be a while.
They probably have some people sitting in the back working on stuff
Maybe.
slowly.
I hope so. I hope so because I remember when we used to get like Ratchet and Clank every like year or a couple years back on like you know what I mean, back on the PS2,
Insomniac
PS3.
could just be a Marvel studio now. You know,
Stop it!
It's
Stop it!
possible.
Don't say these things.
I mean, I wouldn't hate it so long as maybe if they gave Ratchet and Clank to Asobi, then I wouldn't mind.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be a really good hand on over. But yeah,
they're a corporation. They're gonna follow the money. You know.
Yeah.
And Marvel's where the money is.
It's true. All right, who wants to talk about God of War Laufey before we move on to Summer Game Fest? Go on, Matt. You go, and then we'll hear from Fume as well.
3 main things I want to touch on. So number 1, aerial combat is back. Faye is not stuck on the ground like Kratos is in the North Saga, which God of War fans have been begging for. It just opens up so much. Like adding aerial combos allows you to basically create 2 movesets for a character and also really show like skill expression by being able to like hold yourself in the air and chain together different attacks. So that was really great to see. Number two, like Jay said, this game is visually insane. Like people were talking about that the PS5 has not been pushed to its limits, and God of War titles have historically been the title that pushes the PlayStation hardware like as hard as it can go. The When they did the close up of Faye's face, I know everybody glazes Death Stranding 2 and the Decima engine is being incredibly detailed. I'm sorry. This is another level. Like this look 1-to-1 face scan, just insane. Like you could see all the little pores and everything on her face. The hair quality while it's like flowing around, like it's just wild. Like I was definitely floored. Um, and then the last thing is I'm 99% sure that this is like the prototype for the God of War remakes. I know that the like rumor on the street has been that they're going to be over the shoulder action games. Pretty sure now that we're going to see over the shoulder action games. Um, and just to like reframe my brain around everything, I actually started God of War 1, like the original, this past week, and like I can see it now. Um, but yeah, it looks awesome. I can't wait. Just Corey being in charge of the studio now, I think they just have such a strong, definitive identity of where they want to go and what they want to do. He's an incredible director, um, and just leader for that studio. So I wish them all the luck, and I can't wait to see more. But like Fume said, I think because we saw so much of the game, they're going to be releasing it soon. I don't think this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
something that's in incubation for a while.
Fair. How long's it been since Ragnarok now?
2022, because it was
2020.
competing
Oh,
with
4.
Elden Ring
Okay,
for Game
yeah.
of the Year, and I remember that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Fume, what have you got to say about God of War? Obviously, this is going to be another PS6 one for you, isn't it? So
Yeah,
you're not
this
going to be
so
day
this
one
is
if it comes to PS5.
exactly. So this is gonna be a PS6 game for me.
Mm.
So when it comes to God of War, my first God of War game was God of War 2018 when it came to PC.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
my dad had, I think it was either God of War 2 or 3 on the PlayStation 2, and I
Mm.
played a little bit of that, but since I was only over there every other weekend, the next weekend I cycled over. My brothers were already playing something else, so I moved on in my head mentally. So I
Fair.
didn't grow up playing a lot of God.
Okay,
But
fair.
God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok are really good games. I think from a triple A standpoint, it's like masterclass. Like you want to see a triple A game, play a God of War game. The combat's really fun. The stories are great. I like the dad Kratos. I never got to experience the angry masochist murderous Kratos. I only experienced
I love him too, man. You're going to love it.
So I don't have much to say on it. It looks like a good game. It looks like a game I'm gonna get. But yeah, God of War's cool. I just didn't grow up with it, so I don't have this sentimental attachment to it to just dive deep into what it is. But it
That's
looks
fair
great.
enough,
And I'm
man.
happy that you guys are super excited for it.
I'm so excited as somebody that did actually grow up with God of War. I was a bit late to the party. I played Prince of Persia when I was like, that was my kind of action adventure as a
Me
kid.
too. Yeah.
And I used to see God of War come up because they, at that time anyway, they'd get mentioned in the same breath as kind of similar games, even though when you look back at it, they're not really that similar. But I remember a lot of my friends were like, oh, you like Prince of Persia? You should play God of War. So I actually bought the collection when it got the HD collection that came to PS3, and that was my intro when I was about 14 or something. Played through all of them, picked up the PSP ones as well, played through those, picked up God of War 3, and I never looked back. And one thing I will say about God of War 1, Matt, you could probably second me on this, is those games they've got that timeless kind of magic to them. I've also, I think I posted a YouTube video of it a few months ago. I played God of War 1 again for the first time in like over a decade, and it still holds up. Like it still feels good to play. It doesn't feel as old and janky as it feels like it should, if that makes sense. Matt, would you agree with that?
The combat is still like industry leading. Like you could literally take this combat 1-to-1 and put it in a character action game
Mm.
today, and people would be obsessed with it. It's
That's it.
immaculate.
hmm
What doesn't hold up is the game design is pretty dated.
Mm.
Puzzles and the platforming is just
Okay, yeah,
it's
it's
not very
very basic, isn't it? Yeah, it's basic.
it's very
Yeah.
frustrating too. Like this is it's a 9-hour game on a long playthrough.
Mm.
And it's only 9 hours because there's some inordinately frustrating sections that
Mm,
I'm sure you all remember they used to put in games to like pad out game time instead of
Yeah,
instead of like bloat, it was like just make the
yeah.
game irrationally hard. The kids will rage quit and then they'll come back tomorrow and their game time will be longer.
I call it the Disney effect. Disney did that to me with so many games as a kid that I was actually traumatized.
Oh, that Toy Story game. Oh my god.
It was the Lion King one that I had on Game Boy. The flipping Lion King. Oh my god! I don't think I ever made it past the first level, man. That was brutal. Aladdin. That was hard as balls as well. My mum bought me a bunch of these Disney things on Game Boy, and I was just like, "Why'd you do this to me, mum?"
So yeah, those are the things that I'm most interested to see how they change in the remake because the combat is aged immaculately. I mean, it's still it's so smooth. It's crazy. Like you're pulling off times 250 combos, like air juggling.
So
getting,
fun.
like,
It's a big
max-
fucking combo.
Yeah, you're getting
It's
like
so
max
fun,
Blades of
dude.
chaos. Like, I'm telling you, if you ever get bored and you just want like a 3-day game, and because you love
Dude.
Ninja Gaiden and like character action,
Yeah, I do.
You'll
I
love
do.
it. You'll love
Yeah.
it.
just grab this sucker. You will have, you just, it's one of the few games that does such a good job of like capturing power. Like
Yeah.
you literally just kind of become drunk on it. Like by the end of the game, you're like, just give me one more room full of enemies. Like, come on, just a little bit more. And then,
You know what?
it's so good.
Sorry,
I like
go
the
on.
Blades of Chaos too. So that's
You
what I
will
mainly used in
even
2018.
even down to, is it TJ Carson's voice acting as
TC.
Kratos? Like
TC.
obviously, huh? TC. Okay, yeah. His voice acting as Kratos is also adds to that kind of power fantasy. Like his version of Kratos is not this stoic kind of what's the name of the guy who does it in the new ones? I forget his name. Judge? Judge, yeah. He's more like stoic kind of boy, but this guy is like, I will have my vengeance, Zeus. You will pay. Oh man, even as a kid, I used to quote his lines like at school as like a
On the
like a
playground.
little 14-year-old, yeah, talking shit whilst playing football. I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah. It's awesome game. So super excited
Yeah.
for Faye. Like, can't come soon enough. Give it to me now.
No, that's going to be so much fun. And I think that's a wrap for the PlayStation State of Play highlights. Was there anything else I'm missing that you guys wanted to talk? We haven't spoken about everything just because there's so much, but is there anything else that you guys wanted to cover from that?
I just want to say I got a hard stop in about 1 hour, and I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
There's so much
No,
to
that's
talk
fine.
about. I get it.
There is so
So
much
much.
to talk about.
It's crazy.
So much. You know what? Having said that, I've just looked at the time, guys. I might have to hard stop in like 20 to 30 minutes because I've got some stuff I need to sort out before I go to sleep tonight.
Fair.
But
I mean, we could just talk
I
about
was
the big Summer Games Fest games if you want to.
yeah. Let's
give us your top 3, and then if we need to, Fume and I can round out with what we're playing, or if not, we can end it there.
Okay, so my top 3 for the Summer Game Fest, right?
Yep.
I would say is definitely Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin. Now, obviously, that wasn't a reveal, but that game has been so radio silent, and I've been so worried about it that just seeing it come up, even though they showed nothing, I'm just happy that that's still a thing. So that's my number 2. And for number 3, I've got to give it to Stellar Blade Blood Rain. I'm super excited for that, man. That looks amazing. So those are my top 3 showings at SGF last night. But obviously there was a lot. We obviously did the spaces, so we know all of each other's reactions. But that was a really fun time as well. What are you guys top 3? Matt, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Top 3 for me was probably man, that's a tough one. Because a lot of these were not day ones for me, but I was still excited to see them. Star Wars Zero Company, I'm really excited for. Just the idea of like creating my own Star Wars crew and like strategizing with them and customizing them and doing all that kind of stuff seems really awesome. So I'm excited to see that. And they showed off Anakin, so I'm definitely down. I did not realize this was a Clone Wars era game, so maybe that was my bad, but that was very exciting. I'll let Fume talk about the show closer because I know he's got much more to it than me, but I was excited to see that. So number 2, probably Guild Wars 3. I think I was really excited about. Just because I think it's really cool to see the MMO space expanding into consoles. I think it's like a market that they just have not tapped, and I hope it does well. because I think MMOs are really cool and social experiences. I think uh, they deserve more love. So like I hope it does really well, and it was awesome to see that they're like, yep, this is a like console MMO. I'm like, awesome.
Mm.
And then the other one was 1666 Amsterdam.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
that looked
Yeah.
cool.
For those of you that don't know, it's made by the ex Assassin's Creed creator. I'm like
Mm.
99% sure it is the creator of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, they did say that, I think, yeah.
And it just looks really interesting. I'm going to check out the demo a little bit later. Apparently, the demo is very light on content, which I'm a little bit bummed about, but I'm curious to see
Oh.
what it's like. And yeah, that a great show, super well paced. Tons to look forward to. Probably one of the best shows that Jeff has done in a long time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Fume,
All
what are
right.
your top 3? Go on.
So number 1 is Resident Evil Veronica. So this game is set 3 months. So this is a remake of the old game Resident Evil Code Veronica, which starred Claire and Chris Redfield. So this game is set 3 months after the incident in Raccoon City. Claire
Okay.
is doing her investigations, trying to figure out where the fuck Chris is, because after Resident Evil 1, Chris goes off and tries to figure out what's going on with Umbrella, and no one hears from him. So Claire starts to investigating, looking for him. Then what happens? She obviously gets kidnapped, and she is brought to Rockfort Island, which is just a big Umbrella facility. And pretty much what happens is it just goes to shit, and you just got to get out. So it is one of the best and better paced Resident Evil games because of just the way that they incorporate the survival horror mechanics. It's really a terrifying setting. And I don't really want to talk about it too much more because there's a lot of spoilers and big Resident Evil lore in it. So if you're a big Resident Evil junkie and you love Resident Evil and survival horror, this is going to be one of the best ones to play because Resident Evil Code Veronica is one of the better older ones. It just does the formula perfectly. And it was, I think, the last fixed camera angle game they made before they switched over to behind the shoulder with Resident Evil 4. So bringing this over with Claire, everybody loves Claire. You guys played Resident Evil 2. She was awesome. Total badass. So she's going to be the main character of that one. Chris Redfield, her brother, is also a character you play as later in the game. I was reading some stuff from Dust Golem, who's like the big Resident Evil leaker, that Chris's part is actually cut down from, originally you played him as half the game. It's cut down to a third so they can focus more on Claire. Yeah. Yeah, so if you like Resident Evil, so this branches between Resident Evil 3 and the Raccoon City incident 4 pretty much, and what goes on there. So my second game that I'm most hyped for is Final Fantasy VII Revelation. I am so excited. The first Final Fantasy game I ever played was, I think it was 15, and that's when I really got into it, but I didn't care about it. But it was Final Fantasy VII Remake that made me fall in love with the series. I loved the shit out of that game. I got the platinum in it. Cloud, everyone, the party members are fun. I like how in Final Fantasy each numbered entry is different, and they have like the same themes like materia and summons and all that, but they incorporate it into its own world that's different than the rest. And I think the one they got in Final Fantasy VII is really good. It's kind of futuristic, but not too futuristic. The combat looks fantastic. They said they have refined it and made it perfect. I like how classes, like there's classes now and jobs for the characters. There's 4 for each character, and you can switch between them, like Black Mage. I don't know if they share the classes, but I hope it's like each character has, their unique classes that only they can choose. Maybe there's a couple shared ones. But the one thing that I hope they fix is I thought the open world stuff was boring in Rebirth because it was very reminiscent of the early 2010 open worlds where like, here's map markers, a bunch of them. You go to activate the tower, you find them, and you go to do these same kind of copy and paste objectives. I would say to someone who's going to play Rebirth to don't do all of them and just do some of them so you don't burn yourself out. Yeah, because they're very samey and they're not really that fun. It's just kind of like mini games that you don't need to play. It's very mini game heavy. I mean, the Golden Saucer is in Rebirth, so that makes sense. That's literally all about mini games. But I am very hyped for this. It looks like it's going to be an awesome conclusion. They have a different Sephiroth voice actor. I really wasn't too happy about the first 2 performances because he sounded so monotone. I didn't really like him. So I hope this one really improves and we get a better version of Sephiroth almost.
Okay.
And for my third most hyped game, I put Stellar Blade. Blood Rain. Yeah. So with the first Stellar Blade, I was kind of indifferent. I would give it a 7 out of 10. I thought the combat was very fun. very fast paced and it felt very fluid. But I felt like everything around it, like the world and exploration and kind of like the characters, were kind of just subpar that I didn't really get sucked into the lore to care about it. So I'm hoping that they do more with this one because I was reading it's set after the first Stellar Blade. So I'm hoping they expand upon it in a way where they make the characters better because you guys saw the combat. It looks phenomenal. The melee combat, she's got these like wrist gloves on that look like they like shoot rockets so she could punch fast. And on one of them, she has a blade
Badass.
coming out of it. Yeah, she looks
Yeah.
really cool. So I'm very excited for that. But I also did see something like the key art they used. It's clearly AI. Like if you zoom in on it, yeah, everyone's been calling it out. Yeah, they like the windows are mismatched like it's AI. And so I'm very, very skeptical about that. I hope it's just not an AI heavy art game.
Oh,
So
that's a shame, man.
yeah. But I
I'll
made a
have to
list
look this up.
of all the games, so I'm just gonna read the next few off that I'm really
Yep.
excited about. Lords of the Fallen 2 Steam release. Super hyped
Course.
about that. Mafia the Old Country DLC. I'm excited to see how I'm excited to see how they incorporate that because I don't want to talk more about it because it would be huge spoilers, but Virtua Fighter Crossroads. That looks really fun. I know Jay, you're gonna get that one too, right?
Virtua Fighter, yes, but it may not be a day one, but I have lots of fun memories of that. So, yep, I'll be picking that up.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Last Ronin, Blood Message, and then Blood of the Dawnwalker. I thought that was a cool trailer where it showed like
we haven't mentioned that.
Yeah. I know Matt's gonna want to talk about it. But it
Matt's,
looked like it
yep.
started off in the future, so clearly, like the character obviously gets through the game, and then So I'm very excited for all that. But I think my number one, Resident Evil Veronica, and then number 2 is Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Those are the two big ones that I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna get those day one and play the shit out of them. Very happy Final Fantasy VII Revelation is multi-platform now. I think so. Rebirth, it actually did lackluster in sales, but I think that was just because not everyone had PlayStation 5s yet. It was. I think that's really what hurt it the most at the time. Like if that released on the PlayStation 4 too, I feel like they wouldn't have said it had lackluster sales in all the Square Enix share meetings. But they say that about any game, even if it sells well.
Really do.
So
it's because their budgets are so like ridiculous. It's a bit separate, but I was even watching this thing just talking about the movie budgets increasing over the years, and it's like a lot of movies even, and games tend to be even worse, but a lot of movies, they've got budgets of like in the hundreds of millions. So you'd think a successful film back in the day, if it made 150 million, then that was considered a success, like maybe like 20 years ago or whatever. But now that's barely breaking even for some films. That's actually a catastrophic loss for some big budget films. The games are in an even tighter kind of play because they cost too much to make, that even if it sells really decently, or so we think, like a few million, they need tens of millions before they're making any kind of headway. So yeah, there's a difference between breaking even and a success these days. It's rough, this industry, and they need to find a way to curb this shit because it's also coming onto us now. Well, look at the game prices are just getting more because the budgets are just too much.
Things they needed one person for back in the day, they need like 30 people now for. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's also why AI is becoming such a big part. And it's a good and a bad thing because AI will reduce costs in some areas. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
AI is good for redundant work, stuff that you don't need people to like hand pick stuff for. If it's just like, I can't really think of an example, but just little things in game development that you don't need to pay attention to and stuff that's just.
Well, I've heard a lot of developers are using AI to create, like, what do you call it? Like concepts that they can roll with. I was even watching this thing where it's talking about like when people animate things in films, they normally have to show the director like a half-rendered version of what the vision should be to save money on actually producing the fully rendered kind of desired experience. So I'm imagining that's what they've got. AI be like, oh, create this kind of thing where it shows this lady sitting in this room to kind of show what we want it to look like before we actually get the people in to detail it. So I think that's what AI is really being used for. But then it's a slippery slope, isn't it? Because as soon as AI is involved in the creative process, it's cheaper than paying somebody to actually sit there and do it. So obviously a lot of companies are going to lean more and more onto it, and eventually we'll have some shit company make a fully AI game, and that'll be the day.
So AI costs right now are actually exploding right now because of the way that
popular.
It's just the way that the models are, like token models. I think I read this one company spent 500 million on AI in 1 month, and that was just an insane. And they didn't even mean to. It's because they're like wanting to see
Didn't
people.
even mean to.
Yeah, they didn't even mean to, because what they're doing is judging people's productivity on how much they're using AI. So people are just sitting there doing random shit with it to make it look like they're working more. And
Oh shit.
yeah, because they can see
Okay.
their usage and all that, and they didn't know
Yeah.
the costs were going to balloon. I don't think AI is going to be the sustainable future that Sam Altman.
Yeah, but it takes up too much server space as well, doesn't it? It's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
The
Well, I guess
overhead
we'll
that it
see.
really takes up is a lot more than hiring that junior analyst to do the job
Okay,
for
fair.
4,000 a
Okay.
month.
Oh, hopefully it's gonna bite itself in the ass then.
It's a good tool, but it's not a replacement.
No, yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point. I'm gonna have
But
to
not in
kick
the
it in.
case of Stellar Blade, when they fucking used AI for art.
I don't know why would you do that for promotional art though. That's awful, man.
The
I'm
internet's
really
gonna find it.
disappointed.
Call it out. Like they already
That's what
did.
I'm saying. It's not worth it, is it? It's not worth the trouble. Damn. Could have just got an artist to do that, man. It's got enough money.
That's true.
So what was everyone's like number one hyped thing from both the showcases? We still have 2 more showcases, or 2 more big
Yep.
showcases. The Nintendo one
Yep.
that's not announced yet, and Xbox tomorrow, which I'm going to
Xbox,
be
yep.
sitting there messaging you guys the whole time.
Nice. Oh, are we? Oh, yeah, it's a bit late. I was gonna say we could jump
Yeah.
on the spaces for it, but I don't know. See how we are tomorrow. If you
It's
guys
going to be
are up
Sunday
for that.
night for you around like 6. I think,
Yeah,
it's 1
it
p.m.
might
for
be
me.
too late for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I won't be free, unfortunately.
shame. Next time, man. I
we'll talk
really
about it on the
enjoyed that
next show.
spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So what my top, so I think my biggest one for state of play has to be God of War Laufey. And my biggest one for SGF, what did I say? Was it I think it's that's hard because we picked 3 before. It's between Stellar Blade. If I have to pick just one, it's really between Stellar Blade and Resident Evil Veronica. I can't, those they're like on the
Just
same.
push Veronica a little bit ahead. Okay.
Maybe. Oh, it's hard though because I don't know. I'm really excited for those ones. Those are my big ones. What about you, Matt?
I don't know. It's just so SGF was so weird for me because I genuinely
Mm.
don't think any of the new stuff that got revealed, I'm 99% sure I won't be playing it day one. The only one is maybe
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII, if I'm able to
Okay.
get through the 2 games before it and the original.
Oh damn. Okay, fair.
No
Yeah.
promises, but that's how I do want to do it. But
Yeah.
beyond that, like I am really excited for Mortal Shell 2, the Mafia
Yes.
Old Country expansion, and
Oh yeah.
Dawnwalker. But like I already knew about those, so like it didn't. Well, I guess not the Mafia expansion, but like that's an expansion, so it's like less exciting for me.
Mhm.
I will say I've been playing Mortal Shell 2, the beta. It's a beta, by the way. This is not a demo. I played for an hour and a half this morning, and I'm still not done. Like it's beefy.
Damn.
Souls-like of the year. Like it, dude. It is so good. Like
Nice.
cooked like crazy. It's gorgeous. It plays smooth. They fixed so much stuff that was a pain point from the original. Like, while still very impressively like keeping it Mortal Shell, which I think that's the most impressive part, is they managed to like make this new thing that's like a sequel, but you don't feel like you're playing something entirely new. You're like, I remember that old thing, which is cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is good.
Definitely think they cooked there. So definitely
Nice.
check that out if you can. I don't know if the demo's on or the beta's on consoles. I don't think it is.
I don't think it
It's
is,
not, no.
unfortunately. Neither is that 1666. Is that
Yeah,
also PC only?
I'm pretty sure.
I think we're going to see a lot of Mortal Shell 2 leaks because the demo, it looked like it had the full game on it, and you know how
Yeah, it was like
that is.
60 gig, didn't you say?
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
huge.
so-
Like it's open zone now, which is super cool. Like you
Nice.
land in a place and you got like little dungeons and stuff to explore, kind of like Elden Ring.
Yeah, I was gonna
The
say.
level design is still really good. There's
Nice.
way more shells now. My
Nice.
favorite part though, this is kind of crazy. They did away with stamina. There's no stamina in
Yes.
the game. And it feels awesome. Let me tell you, like the way that they have designed this game is really, really smart. It really encourages the more like forward leaning Souls combat rather than like the defensive combat, which I love
Massive.
because it really just causes you to experiment with all the different shells. And now instead of the shells having different stats, the shells have different abilities. So it really does encourage a different play style, not via stats, because you can actually upgrade your character now. Like
Oh, you can?
yeah, you upgrade the
Nice.
inside
Oh,
shell.
shit.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Okay, I like that a lot.
That's also smart because the way that they did that is just like a level, and the level just gives you like health, agility, like everything. It's not like you have to pick, so you still don't have to
Yeah.
worry about like picking your build, which I
Mm.
like. It's just very streamlined action combat. But then when the
Nice.
shell that you're picking really does like formulate what you want, and then you get all these other things. There's like augments and weapons and other stuff that allows you to really customize your playstyle. Very similar to like Remnant, where Remnant
Mhm.
is like much less build focused and much more like item and stuff focused. I think it's really cool.
Mm, nice.
I just can't believe they dropped like a 2-hour demo on people and like, go have fun. I'm like, what? This is crazy.
Yeah, that's nice, man. It
They're
sounds
confident.
awesome.
They're confident in their game.
Super. And I see it. Like, it's awesome. And it builds directly off of Mortal Shell 1, which is really cool too. Like, the game opens with like a small recap, and
Okay.
this is happening as a result of the stuff that happens in the original game, which I think is really cool as
Nice.
well.
Yeah.
Jay, have
I
you played the
definitely need
first?
to play it. No, I still
Okay.
haven't. I mean, I played like a couple hours of it way back when it launched back in, I think it was 2020. I want to say
Yes,
2020. I
that's
was
when it
still at
launched,
uni.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was still at uni. I got it day one just because I heard it was really good. But I was studying. I played it for a couple hours. Other things came up and then I didn't finish it. But I plan to replay. I think my next Souls-like, I need to go back to Kazan. I need to go and finish
Really
Kazan.
good.
And then I think it will be Lords of the Fallen, and then it will be Mortal Shell, so that I'm ready for when their sequels come out. So that's my kind of Souls-like thingamajig.
So Mortal
I-
Shell, you could probably beat it in like 6 to 8 hours if you just.
I've
wanna,
heard it's quite short.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very short if you just want to bang it out, and it's not too
Cool.
difficult either.
Nice. I think that's a good segue into our final kind of section because I'm going to have to chip within the next like 10 minutes. What are we playing? Fume, we obviously heard from Matt that Matt's been working on Mortal Shell, but we'll be back to check in what else you've been working on. Fume, what are you working on right now? Because I don't even think I know.
Yeah, so I
Mm.
got the platinum in 007 First Light. Fantastic game. It's like you're playing an action movie. It's James Bond. You can't go wrong there. I'm also playing on my Steam Deck Mina the Hollower, which is very reminiscent of the Game Boy Zelda games like Oracle of Season, Oracle of Ages. If you know what those play like, it's kind of just like a top-down adventure game. And this one, it's a more difficult one. It's kind of honestly like they want to say it's a Souls-like, but it's nothing like a Souls-like. It's just a hard game. But they also have modifiers in it, so you can make it easier if you don't want to deal with the bullshit. And there's a ton of them. Like I think there's like infinite health. You don't die when you fall into pits. Just little things like that. It's from Yacht Club Games, the makers of Shovel Knight. And if you just want a cool, fun adventure, top-down, retro-looking 16-bit kind of game, it's really good. I'm also playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I just started that the other day. When I start Kingdom Come games, because they're very hard to start, I usually use a guide. I used a quick guide to get the Lion's Crest armor and a couple of other things. When I started the first Kingdom Come, I used a very extensive guide, but this time I just used a quick one just so I don't get super frustrated. And I'm loving the hell out of it. It's pretty much just Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but they refined everything. It's kind of just like what they're doing with Mortal Shell. They figured out what didn't work, fixed that, and found what worked and made it even better. So I'm juggling a couple of games right now. So I'm going to be
Nice.
playing Kingdom Come 2 until probably Black Flag comes out, and then about halfway through Mina, so I'll find a new Steam Deck games.
Nice. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying Kingdom Come, man. That's
I love
like
it.
one of my
Henry is great.
favorite RPGs. He is great character. Anyway, we have another talk about that another time. What was it? Matt, before I talk about what I've been playing, what else have you been playing apart from Mortal Shell then? What else are you working on? Because we spoke earlier, you still play Marathon fairly often. Is there anything else on your kind of rotation?
I'll bang this out real quick. God of War 1. just
No
finished.
rush. Oh yeah, nice.
So starting God of War 2, hopefully today.
Nice.
I just want to get through those before Faye comes out, so I really have a fresh memory of what they're all like, and they're all fairly short outside of 2018. So
Yeah.
it shouldn't take too long.
Yeah.
So I finished that. I platinum 007 as well. Currently my game of the year front runner.
Nice.
I admit bias
Same.
though. I am an action adventure fanboy day of the week. Like this is a game for me.
Same.
So currently my game of the year front runner, but I could see the argument for plenty of others. I've been playing some Assassin's Creed 4 original because again, I want to have a fresh memory of the game for when the remake comes out. Just phenomenal game.
Okay.
If you guys haven't,
Nice.
like it's just aged so well.
Oh, I've played it. Oh, I love that game so much.
what's
I
the game?
actually stopped
PC
myself
Four.
from replaying it.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, so good.
It's just like the way they've captured both the world, Edward, and just the fluidity of what we all wanted from Assassin's Creed is incredible. And that's like my number one. Like, I hope they're able to recapture that magic because it really is so cool.
Me
The
too.
experience of like when you picture like a swaggy pirate, like that's just what this is. Like, it's just yeah. So I've been playing a lot of that. I think is that most of what I've been. Oh, and I'm wrapping up Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights should be.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I
Day or
forgot
two.
about that. Yeah, nice.
I put that on hold when 007 came out, but now that I'm finished with
Yeah.
that, I got to bounce back to that and wrap up that game.
Awesome. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I like the game.
Nice rotation. Which Gotham
Gotham
Knights?
Knights. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a
It was
Batman
okay.
fan, if you're
Yeah.
a Batman fan, you'll appreciate the characters. But I mean,
Don't read my review then.
it's nothing to write home about. It's not the most fun Batman game.
Well, I thought you enjoyed it, Matt.
I do, but it's like it's very like I'm a bona fide like slop enjoyer. Like it's pretty hard to get me to like hate on the game.
Same.
And I don't hate this game, just to be clear, but it's very clear that it comes up short in a lot of areas.
I agree with that.
Because when you put this next to like other Batman video games, like it's got a lot to live up to. And, like if you put this on a different IP, like I don't know, you could really pick anything else. I won't think about it right now. It probably would have been received better, but just because it's the Bat family and it was the very first game released post Arkham Knight, like it's just set up to fail, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The big issue was starting off as like a live service game, and then they kind of kept those remnants in it. When they switched it to not single player, but co-op. So it kind of it's in a weird spot.
For sure.
Yeah. It's real disappointing. As for what I've been working on, so I think I mentioned earlier, I also platinumed 007 First Light, and that is also my front runner for Game of the Year. It has somehow managed to dethrone Requiem. I'm sorry, Fume, but it's
not for
just
me, baby.
the truth of it. Obviously not for you, but for me, I'm like Matt in the sense that action adventure is my bread and butter. Those are the games I really grew up on. You know, like I mentioned, Prince of Persia, obviously the old Assassin's Creed, Uncharted since the very first all the way up to now, and obviously Tomb Raider, all of those kind of 007 First Light captures a lot of those quintessentially and what I want from a game. And even while I was playing it, I was like, oh my God, this is like just getting all of my dopamine sensors going. I just could not stop playing it, even though I normally complete a game and then wait like at least 6 months before I platinum it, just so I have an excuse to revisit it, especially when I really like it. James Bond, I couldn't stop. I just wanted I wanted any excuse to keep playing. I went and did all the tax sims, did a bunch of the challenges, which I rarely ever do. Like I still won't even uninstall it, which I normally do as soon as I beat a game. So yeah, it says a lot. And I'm looking forward to, I don't know if we mentioned already, but it's getting that DLC, story DLC focused on that boss played by Lenny Kravitz. So that really excited for that. Off the back of the platinum for 007, I was craving more of that style. So I went back to the Hitman World of Assassinations game. They were doing like I think it's still up, the sale on PlayStation Plus for all of the games with a bunch of the like extra packs and DLC and stuff. So I picked all of that up for PS5 and I've been playing that, loving it, man. It makes sense what IO were doing in Hitman, why they moved on to 007 next. And I'm also working on Lego Batman as well.
Nice.
And I need to get back to Kazan. So those are my big ones. I don't think I'm working on anything else apart from those. Those are like 4. And I haven't played Kazan in like 2 weeks because of 007 and Hitman. So I really need to go back. I'm probably going to get my shit folded now because I'm going to be so out of it.
That's a tough game to walk away to and come back.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to. It wasn't even my intention. But what happened was I obviously went away. The same reason why I couldn't do the last pod, because I went away for like 4 days. Obviously didn't have my PlayStation and then came back and 007 and Batman got delivered. So I was like, I have to jump on these while they're fresh.
You need a Portal.
Yeah. I do, man. Really bad.
Portal.
I took my Switch with me and didn't even play it because I don't really have any games on it that I wanted to play. I think I played like a little bit of what's that? Death's Door, I think it's called.
Oh yeah, I played that.
Yeah,
That's like
the
that's a fun
roguelike
game.
with the
Yeah.
little. It's fun. I played it on the bus or on the train while I was on my way away. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely do need a Portal. But yeah, those are what I've been working on. And on that fine note, I am going to have to leave you gentlemen to close off the show without me.
I gotta leave
Um,
too, so we could just do
oh,
the outro if you want.
okay. Well, I have been Jay, otherwise Jay Plays Games. You can find me on X, YouTube, TikTok, maybe other things that I can't think of right now. Fume, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, I am Fume Gaming. You can find me on Twitter and on YouTube. My YouTube's not active because life is very busy, but you can still find me there. So
And
Nice. And Matty,
you guys can find me at It's Matt Ghosty on X or at Life is a Game magazine. Pretty much anywhere you look.
thank you as always for joining our humble podcast, and we look forward to coming back in a couple of weeks to do it all again and talk about the Xbox showcase, future game show, whatever the hell else is
Nintendo.
going on. Nintendo,
because we're gonna see the
between.
Ocarina of Time remake there. I know it.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
We'll talk about
I need
that.
a
We'll talk
Switch.
about
Yeah,
that
I need a Switch, man. But yeah, thanks guys as always. Bless.
Bye.
See everybody.